mysteries of the unknown.
Russ Adams. Best sculpture I've ever done.
Egomaniac.
That was the right choice.
Oh, what is happening? Welcome back to another edition. I was about to say a number, but we don't know what numbers these are yet. 2.
3.
The working title, Into the Lair. I'm your host, Daniel Taylor, and I'm joined by the lovely, the handsome, the smart, the scholar and the gentleman himself,
Miss Zulinga.
Miss Zulinga. Oh my God, we're back.
Hey, Daniel.
Hey, Nate, what's up, man?
How are you feeling?
Hey, don't. No, you.
No, how are you feeling?
Good today. We're drinking. Oh wait, before I dive in, let me segue away from my feelings real quick. We're drinking
Let's avoid
Weller
that topic.
Green Label Special Reserve. Is that what it's called? I don't know.
You're the guy.
I told Nate if it was any show for my love for him, I cracked into Weller for him. So, how do you like it?
Yeah, it's really good.
Isn't it? It's that little bit of bloom from watering down a bit. Isn't that like makes the world?
Yep.
It's great. I am good. I have had a fantastic week, tiring week, but a good one, and chock full of fun experiences. What happened?
It's just jumping on me. Like,
Oh yeah, on that arm it will. Yeah, it's gonna keep bouncing. I thought about buying these. Like this is like a El Cheapo. I don't know where that's from. I don't even remember where I got it and
What are
why.
you talking about, the stand or the table?
Yeah, that broadcast arm. And I thought about getting better ones and looking like all the big podcasts, but guess what?
Not yet, man.
This works.
Not yet.
Yeah. Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
We win. Or lose. I don't know. We'll find out in an hour from now.
Great either way. Yeah.
But yeah, man, I feel good. I had a good week. A lot of fun stuff. But before we get into some of the cool things you and I were talking about earlier, how do you feel?
I'm feeling good. I heard that that on another podcast I was listening to today. The psychologist on it said it's better to ask people if you want to get into it quicker instead of small talk. You know, say how are you?
Come right out the gate strong.
Yeah, and instead of saying how are you doing or how are you, which just elicits that fine.
Yeah, right. You get placated.
How are you feeling?
Right.
How are you feeling?
You know what's hilarious is I did that on accident. I've done that to you every time we started these. If you realize that?
No.
Totally didn't even just because I do that.
I haven't put it together, no. I'll have to go back, yeah.
Yeah. That was, I think, or something to do with that. How have you been? How's your mind? How are you feeling?
Yeah.
That's funny. That's a good strategy, though.
Yeah, it is.
Because as you get older, you don't, the patience for the pandering,
Small talk is gone,
diminishes quick.
She was saying there's a small talk saying in Finland. The Finnish have a attitude about small talk that silence is golden, talking is silver.
I love that.
Me too. I'm gonna just start saying.
I don't know. Apparently, in my stock exchange, silver is way higher than gold, but either way,
I love it.
Hey. It is a good day. It is a good day. Nate and I wrapped up a gym session, so we have been rid of our excess anxious energy, which is key.
It is good.
Yeah, it makes you be able to work the sharpness a little better in your favor, I think.
Yeah.
But this is a heavy jinx.
To kill it.
Yeah, right. Then you take the whiskey and you just want to sleep.
But we've been on the same wavelength since 4:35. What time was it? 5:30.
Crazy. We got to give context in our little pseudo world here.
Yeah.
I've noticed a lot of, and I don't know if I mentioned this to you when we realized that, but I've noticed a lot, and this happens for me when I notice synchronicity. I notice it. It's not like this fleeting moment. Like, it's a miracle. It's all the fucking time. And there is something to be said for, think about gray station wagons.
Right.
And now you're going to see them for 3 days.
Yeah. What do they call that?
I don't know.
Yeah.
But it is a thing. It is a thing, and it does happen.
Is a thing,
you key into things you normally just completely paint out of your memory. Yeah. But the synchronistic stuff always has that extra edge, that extra, I'm wired in my kundalini, in my crown chakra. I'm feeling some type of high because of it. Like, it isn't delivered in that same vehicle, if that, no pun intended.
Well, and also when someone else is involved. Like if it's just
Well, right,
you
right,
noticing things,
right.
but if somebody else,
So the fact that you and another friend of mine were involved, completely
Yeah,
independent of
that's-
myself, was
and we
like,
don't know each other. The other guy,
no, and icing
kinda-
on the cake, because it's not this isolated incident in the vacuum. I've been having synchronistic shit for like 4 days.
we got to tell them.
So a friend of mine calls in distress. God love him, or universe love him, or Satan love him, whatever you're into. Your sense of highest consciousness love him. I delete my own jokes. He calls me and he's in distress because he needs weed, and he uses it for
Smoking.
right, medicinal purposes. Yeah, sometimes spiritual purposes. He's really in tune, guy. He's fun. And yeah, it's part of his routine, so it's harder for him to get it. We don't live in an area where there's that many recreational stores yet, even though it's legal. Right. You have to have a card and whatnot, and he doesn't want to deal with the hassle and all that stuff, and I don't blame him, whatever. So I don't remember. I don't smoke weed regularly. I mean, I'll partake if the
Nor do
situation,
I, yeah.
right, which is even weirder. And I don't remember the last time he called me. I'm his only friend that doesn't smoke, and asked if I can find something, right?
Yeah.
And, of course, I was like, I'll see what I can do. I do have other friends that smoke. Maybe I don't know if I'm going to see them before you need it and all that stuff. Anyway, we end up going to the gym. I go to drop you off, and you say, hey, you want some weed? And I'm like, get the fuck out of here. And you're like, what? I'm like, you will never believe. I'm like, no, I don't need any. Keep it, because I waste it. I won't smoke it. But beyond that, when's the last time you, one, offered me weed, or two, even had enough weed to offer me? Crazy.
Yeah.
And it's not, right? It's so easy to explain away. It's like, who gives a shit? But we're all. But no, I get it. I get the argument too.
But it was like we were thinking of going to the gym at the same time. We were thinking of this at the same time.
This is true, because both have had a busy few days, and have only heard from each other in fleeting instances. And I literally get done designing stuff, go upstairs, and literally tell Kelsey that I'm about to text you to ask if you want to do this, and I didn't even think of the gym. And I'm changing, and you text me and like, hey, you want to do a gym session? And I was like, get the fuck out of here.
Yeah.
Hadn't talked to you since Monday.
Yeah, no,
Tuesday.
We traded some gifts
Yeah,
on the
yeah.
text message, but
Yeah. But still, I mean, but that, I'm saying, those alone in a vacuum aren't that crazy. I mean, that happens.
Right.
You think of a song and it comes on the radio. You think of a gray station wagon, you see them. But when it's fucking relentless, that's the thing. It's in a fashion that it's even if I'm trying to ignore it, it's like punching me in the face.
Yeah.
And I've never known where to place that. Even in I've had these, have you had these in your life? These eras, these stages of not spirituality, because I am the least religious person, religious, but growth that you're conscious of, it's weird that even I'm kind of uncomfortable to call it a spiritual stage, because that has such a negative connotation in our culture. It's it wasn't, I didn't eat mushrooms and go to Burning Man and say, I'm gonna delete my Instagram for at least a week. You know what I mean? It wasn't that.
Right.
But I had those moments. It's a common tendency for me to kind of check out from reality and have an experience. But even in those stages where you think you're on the same wavelength as everything around you, and you're very tuned in, right? You're paying attention.
Yeah.
Even then, I didn't know where to place synchronicity. That's the one thing that always escapes me.
Yeah. I don't know. It's not something that happens a lot, so.
No.
Or that I guess you're not paying attention anyway, for the most part. So, or not you specifically.
Right.
People. And then, so you wouldn't even notice if it did happen, but.
Right. I always, I kind of attributed it to, you might want to bring that a little closer, because this.
I think it's the angle of it.
Well, I can turn you down though if you come closer, because the noise gate's cutting out on you. I don't know if you can hear that.
Yeah, I can hear it.
But
how's that?
That's perfect. And this is multi-track, so I can fix you in post now. I dropped the ball last time. My thing, not to get too deep, but it was so funny because, like I said, I grew up at a very young age, in the music industry with heavy players that it was a fun. I'm not taking anything away from their experience, but it was also a fun thing to attribute their success to new age philosophies and, akin to Jim Carrey.
The secret kind of.
Right, where it's the guy that is worth 30 million is definitely going to champion those things, but there are people that practice the secret religiously and are living in a basement and aren't fulfilled. So obviously I'm aware of the context, right? But I was tuned into that. And at a young, impressionable age, when the people that are telling me have been in the top of their field, you're going to listen because you're looking for the reason, especially when you're comparative. Like I would, and this is nothing, I mean, it is kind of judgmental, but some of these guys, I was like, I'm that good in my way. I'm going to be able to out blah, blah this guy, but I'm equally as good in this sense, right? And I was like, so what's the difference? Oh, the difference is he read Conversations with God. The difference is she practices the power of now. The difference is this guy preaches wishes fulfilled, all these new age guys. So I was heavily influenced by that culture for a while. And it did me good in terms of growth because that's, 18-year-olds don't really think about that stuff. Why do you give a shit at 18?
Right.
But, even then, I really can't play synchronicity. And so I'm watching Steve-O's podcast because the Jackass guys were like hugely influential on me. I was like the punky kid, skateboarded, played rock music, like beat up his buddies with each other. Like we made Jackass movies.
Yeah.
We had them. It was ridiculous. We had them for rent at the local. What was that little place in
Firehouse Video?
No, Farmington.
Oh,
MG's.
MG's.
Yep, for sale and for rent. I branded it all. I printed out DVD slipcases. I bought them in bulk.
Oh, you made your own and put them there.
They're on YouTube and Vimeo.
What?
Yeah, I'll send you links.
All right.
But of course, the whole idea, because I was the camaraderie king. I always needed a tribe to feel loved. And so I had to keep, every time I had one, whether it was the band or the Dumbass was the name of our thing, DUMASS, so we look stupid, or the skate crew that I was like making decks for. It was in an effort to keep the tribe because I loved that. I thrive with the tribe. And anyway, that neither here nor there. So I'm watching Steve-O's podcast and he had Duncan Trussell on. You know Duncan from probably Joe Rogan. He's he's an actor too. You'd know him if you saw him. But look, I'll show you him after. You'll know him. He does a lot of psychedelics. He had an animated TV show. Yeah, you got to Google him because you'll know him. But I was like, what a weird guest. Steve-O and Duncan Trussell. And it was literally the best episode of Wild Ride I've ever listened to. It was fantastic.
That's his
podcast.
Because he had Wild Boys. Okay. No, I don't know this guy.
Oh, you'd love him. You got to watch some of his stuff, dude. He's Duncan's the man.
He's a stand-up. Okay.
Yeah, a very cavalier approach to the new age, like spiritual stuff. I like his attitude about it. I like the way in which that he approaches it and discusses it. But anyway, him and Steve-O are talking about it in Conversations with God. I hate that name. I wish Neil had titled that anything but that because it sounds so fucking religious. It shuts off so many people.
Yeah, I wouldn't read it.
It is not. There are other new age books that are like 10 times more religious. It has nothing to do with that. I mean, it does and it doesn't, but it's not that. It's not what you think when someone says a book called Conversations with God. You see, like, you're sitting in the guy with the beard's lap and and it's like, it's not that at all. But Steve-O talks about reading it. Steve-O.
He went through some rough stuff, though. I'm sure he needed some.
Well, yeah, but he's talking about how it I don't know
the book, so
Neil has this trip, right?
Who's Neil?
Neil Donald Walsch is the author.
Okay.
Fantastic. You love the book. You really should read it. It changed my life.
I did start
absolutely.
The one, I don't know how far I got in the other one you recommended, but
the E squared?
Yeah.
That is like the end. It's like
okay.
that building block. Like I would recommend Conversations with God to anyone. It is because it's really not what you're thinking. It's just like, to me, it's the most palatable, easy guided read, right? You don't have to be into it because it carries you. It is very, it's very sensitive-y, it's kind of lovey. It's presented in a really palatable way, but it's really well written. And of course, it's Neil talking to himself, right? And he says that. Like, that's the cool thing is throughout his books, he's very willing to entertain. Like, there is no God to talk to. The book is really not what you think. He's like, I'm talking. He goes, well, then who am I talking to? You, dummy. The part of you that you don't talk to,
Right.
don't want to talk to. Or he goes, who even cares who you're talking to, what you're talking to? Have you had your things answered like this? You know, and here's the thing. Even if that book, and it very well could be a snake oil to sell books, awesome.
Yeah.
Cool. It's great.
It's entertaining.
So anyway, a big trip of Neil's, and Steve-O was talking about this. And then from that point on till today, I've had this like episodic, in terms of consistency, synchronistic experience. And he's talking about how Steve-O went through a hard time watching his mother die of cancer. And he was saying, of course, I think at that time he must have been in drugs. He's always been. He's just now not. But he was at that time so vengeful, so angry, that if there exists a God, how could he sit back and let this experience happen to this person? Because his mom was like a saint. How? There's no God. There can't be. Who would allow that? Neil has this trip, and Steve-O said this helped him through all of that. There is no outside. There is no anything apart from you. We are having a human experience that bases itself entirely in relativity. You can't know that water's hot if you don't understand the concept of cold. It just is at that point. God is this infinitely broken up thing experiencing every aspect of this thing. That's Neil's trip. That the thing that we think is God, the universal consciousness, the id or the ego, the id, I don't know, whatever, that thing, the super conscious, but whatever you're comfy with, is literally just the culmination of everything. And that everything is all one thing. So God wasn't separate, like from his mother's suffering. That just was what that part of God chose, the universe, whatever, when it came here. And it's spoken a lot more eloquently than that. I haven't read it in a long time, but it explains a lot of shit too. Like I kind of went down that trip. This was not what we were going to talk about at all.
Not at all.
Not at all.
No.
But I went down that road for a while, and I started realizing, well, that explains reincarnation. If you lived,
theory of everything kind of thing.
that same thing. The fact that Neil's theory, it probably might be other people's too. I don't know if he borrowed any of this knowledge. I mean, this is old school knowledge anyway. This wasn't his. He just was another guy writing about it. These are those ultimate truths that keep presenting themselves. But his belief is that, in many people's, that time is not linear. It is cyclical. And so you ask the question of like, well, if you're reincarnated as, a pharaoh in ancient Egypt, when did that happen? And it's like, it is happening. That time exists. You're just you're not there. You're here. And he's like, it's like, well, how do you explain that? Like, we have auras and they don't stop. There's just this gradient in it and it dissipates. Where does that end and yours begin? And his trip is it doesn't. We're connected. Literally. There's the air in here, it might smell like woods from my guitars and foam from soundproofing. And the kitchen might smell like pizza, but the door's open, it's the same air. It just has different, characterizations.
Yeah, I've entertained those.
But that was his trip anyway.
Yeah.
Steve-O just realized, like, it helped him a lot when he realized, the way in which I'm thinking of a divine power is what's making me mad at it, which is interesting. Because I'm not saying Neil's right and the other guy isn't, right? I'm just saying you don't know what's right. So why would you choose the one that makes you vindictive, vengeful, angry?
Well, the other thing, too, is like when you're suffering, it helps to find something that makes that less and hold on to it while it's helping you.
Yeah.
And then when that type of suffering ends,
right,
you can move on, I guess.
I think this is cutting you. Will I turn that just toward your face a little more? There you go. I think it's trying to cut you out. It's not me. Everyone's gonna think he's turning him down. Yeah. But no, it's an interesting concept, and that was some of the deeper stuff like that. Less of the frilly shit that Neil wrote about in that book, but that kind of stuff was a strong factor in the building of my foundation of belief. Like, that is something that jives with me more than a vengeful God in the clouds with a beard that is all jealous and angry, and he would build this thing, us, that is endlessly fallible, with endless temptation, with no real guide but broken people telling you not to indulge that, and then you're punished for it forever. Who does that add up to?
Yeah, nobody.
Who would do that?
I don't think.
Nobody that thinks about it.
You can rationalize everything, though, right? So like,
you can make it fit.
If you're following God or Christianity or whatever, I mean,
right,
you can rationalize that. any way you want. But no, you're right. I mean, there's endless suffering. There's
What God would allow it.
Yeah.
And why? They never give a good answer.
no. They say I mean, it's all knowing and all benevolent.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
But it's not benevolent.
No. It never fit for me. That myth or whatever, that belief, whatever you're comfy with, I'm not downing. Listen, here's the thing. I don't want to call anyone out. I try to get someone I'm related to into that, right? Because it changed my life. I grew
that
up
book.
hard. Yeah. Terribly, but poor and an emotionally abusive house, not physically, maybe as a symptom mentally, but not, it wasn't being, whatever. My parents went through a lot of shit and never healed from it. And we dealt with the backhand and, like I said, tough bringing up and situations, just, I was an angry kid and I was a lost kid and I dealt with a lot of shit. Everyone has their own shit, right? I'm not special, but that book did change my fucking life. Even if on revisits, I see a lot of stuff as half-baked as I get older and I sit with those ideas myself and iron them out myself in ways that fit me. Maybe I read it back and I'm like, okay, that's kind of stupid. Or that's, I get that's kind of half-baked or whatever. That's kind of pushy. It still changed my life. It still did something to me at a time when I actually kind of needed that.
Yeah, that's what I mean. You find things that you need when you're,
Right. But I think a big plus is being aware of that. And that way you don't get lost in the myth. You don't get lost in the sale. It's like you're not going to go out and buy every book you wrote. And it's like, because you're not tied up in it. I don't know that I knew that right then, but later on, of course, I knew of course it was what you needed because you made it what you needed. Yeah, anything can be what you need. It's like, I don't understand people that are like, how in the world could these people get caught up in that cult? Well, that question, the answer to that question is only based on how short that question is. That's not the question.
Right.
What did these people go through?
What were they going
What
through?
kind of void were they desperately trying to fill?
Exactly.
You get this charismatic person. Maybe they've never met someone with charisma, literally. We disregard at such a frightening level people's experience. I expect people to have had the relations that I have and the experiences that I have. And I'm always surprised when that's not the case. And it frequently isn't the case.
No. Yeah.
And then you wonder why people don't have certain tools or they're not developed in certain ways. Dude, let people walk their path, man. Some of these people haven't had the luxury. It is a privilege. I think trauma, this is a bold statement that I probably should shut the fuck up and not say, it's not a privilege at all. But I think it, used correctly, is the best growth factor. I don't think that. It was for me. I don't want to project.
I can see a lot of people that have gone through things that have really sharpened their edges.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think you're a really intelligent guy. And I don't think it's mutually exclusive. I don't think people are born super intelligent or not, but I think trauma can help forge a certain intelligence. And
well, it's a certain trauma too. I was forced. My other siblings didn't do this, but it's probably because I did. I was forced to be an adult so young. So you start nurturing the way that person might think that young. And it's like, the funny thing is, it's not like there's no flex there because you miss out on,
right.
I look back, I'm 30 and I look back and I'm like, God damn, I wish I was able to be in a mindset to appreciate that more and not worry about whatever I was worrying about. But, and I'm intimately aware that people have it a lot worse than I did. And I don't want any pity. And I'm not saying that it is what it is. You have to understand the context of that story of mine to understand how influential that was for me.
Right.
And, I'm a heavy proponent of, I always wondered, I would watch friends that had a seemingly perfectly normal life and given everything, never had to worry, weren't stressed out kids, and their parents get a divorce in 10th grade. Everything's fine. And you would trade lives with them in a moment. And they're triple as traumatized as you've ever been. And selfishly, you go, why?
Yeah.
Live a day in my place then go back to yours and understand how privileged you are, right? But that is a complete moot point. People's trauma is as real to them as it is real. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. So no one's trauma is worse than yours. Nobody. Not to them. And no one's is less.
Yeah.
It's however they take it.
Yep.
It's hard to be empathetic sometimes.
One of the most helpful things I've heard is that everyone is doing the best at that point in their life.
I couldn't agree more, yeah.
You do your best to get through whatever, and then you do your best to, get ahead or whatever. And yeah.
I couldn't agree more. And I really do think that I think that people need to be a lot more patient. I think that people need to understand that, yeah, everyone's walking a certain path and they're dealing with things they were dealt that might be beyond their control. And we don't care. And we touched on this a little bit last time. I don't know why we're talking about this. I like it. It's fun.
It's fun. It definitely wasn't.
It's worth talking about.
That we started.
No, we had planned this. I shut that noise filter off for you, so you should be able to be anywhere you want. I didn't want to keep cutting you off. The dynamics don't need it. That doesn't really have a ton of background noise, floor noise. Anyway, but we constantly disregard that. Like I said the last episode we did together that my mom wouldn't do that. And I think it was because she lived an extremely hard life.
She wouldn't do what?
She would not disregard someone's experience for anything. Period.
What do you mean?
You could be dozing off, assumingly on drugs, working at a gas station, or you could be the mayor of a town, and I swear on my existence, my mother would treat you no differently. None. Not at all. You were the most important person to her when she was talking to you.
Oh, yeah, you were saying
and
that.
It was genuine. It didn't matter who it was. But I think my mother's experience lended to that outlook. I mean, that's who she felt like, was those people. I feel like that. I mean, I'm a lucky guy. I in my own right, like I've said this to you because I was talking to Kels about it. It's like we get all caught up in this myth of reality and this comparative reality from social media. And we get anxious and we say, are we doing enough? Have we saved enough? Are we healthy enough? And it's like, listen, at some point you have to sit back and realize you won. You're healthy. You're alive. You're not dying of a terminal illness. You're not living on the street. You might not be rich, but if your furnace goes, you'll have a way to replace it. Right there, you're better off than 98% of people, whatever it is, some gross number of people.
Yeah, it is crazy.
And the thing is, though, that same guy that realizes, like, I've had as much drawbacks and downfalls as I've dealt with, I've had a lot of luck. And I know that. But I still, like my mom did, I still realize, and I have that from her, that you're only a few mistakes from being the attendant at Big Apple, scooping ice cream at Giffords. You really are. People don't realize how it's a finicky balance.
Along those lines, being the attendant at Big Apple, you're still going to be better off than that same number almost.
Dude, here, I'm giving you this. Only because you saved me. I am not, and I said this last episode, I'm not down talking that at all.
No, I know.
I know
what I meant.
CEO, but I'm saying it's not what I meant because I wanted to be clear. I know CEOs of companies that could gift you a Rolex and not blink, that are miserable, unfulfilled. I know them.
I was going to ask you this question. Would you rather be terrible at life and everything's going wrong for you, but happy, still like a happy person, like, oh yeah, another thing happened, but and keep that perspective. I'm still healthy. My kids are healthy. You always have a smile on your face, or uber successful and super stressed and not enjoying really anything. Where would you rather be? Winning and miserable, or?
Right. I don't think there's a static state that you could really stay in, right? So I think,
well, if you're Jeff Bezos,
right,
that's pretty static. You're not going very far from.
No. I mean mentally, where like I feel like each person in the other shoes would wish for the other.
Oh,
Because I feel like if you're happy and you have seemingly nothing and you live very simply and maybe everything's failing for you, like you're saying, but you're happy, maybe you'd want to know what a brand new jet ski feels like, you know?
maybe.
Maybe you don't.
But maybe you'd
right?
be happy just watching.
Isn't
them go
human
by.
nature though like
No,
looking
I
for the
know.
experience you don't have? I
I
find
know,
that in everybody.
I just wonder if there's a
A middle ground?
like an ignorance.
Oh.
You know what I mean?
oh.
You're not that you're. Like,
I completely misread that question. I see what you mean. You mean like basally, like, would you rather be happy even if it was at just a content level, or achieve these crazy things but at the detriment of your mental health?
right.
Yeah, that's a lot more black and white. That's tough. I don't know. I mean, I don't think I've felt happy consistently for a long time. Not in a pity way. That's fine. Like I kind of torture myself.
No, it's my own doing.
Yeah, right. You have
But
that,
I'm with
right?
you.
Yeah,
Yeah, I'm
right.
with you,
This
yeah.
is why we click in that way. It's fine. Like I don't need a pat on the back or anyone to feel bad. I really just don't. I'm also fucking lying if, something we have, again, we just talked about this earlier. We are too honest, probably.
Probably for the audience. Yeah, I mean, what?
But we still don't even know what we're doing with this. You know
Yeah,
what would be really sad? This might be the push to put out the episode because no one fucking talks about this shit. Or I don't know anyone that does.
No one's gonna. Yeah, my friends are not even.
I
talking
love
about
that
this.
pseudo spiritual shit when it's done from someone that realizes, can see past the gimmick of it, right? That doesn't like, not like I'm some fucking learned master. That's not what I mean. But like, I've read enough of them. I was exposed so early. I've done the full scope of being out of my mind about them and full on begging for the experience of that stuff. And then I also was the jaded guy from them. If I have all these tricks, why aren't they working? Right. And I've been every facet of that. Right. And it's nice to have someone retell it like Steve-O. Like, this is what I'm saying. Steve-O said it in such a fucking layman's term way, like I'm not selling anything. Don't buy the fucking book. It's just some of the ideas were profoundly helpful for him and in turn for me. And I forget, like I shy away from that, right? Like you and I were talking, you don't have many friends. You said this on the last episode that really like meet you at this level. You don't have any.
None.
Right. And it's like, you want to know one big reason? This is weird to talk about because no one talks about it. It wouldn't be weird if people like,
Yeah.
but the problem is if you ask certain people this, all of a sudden they want you to join their cult. It's like, I don't care. I didn't write the fucking book. Don't buy it. It helped me. It was a great fucking read when I needed it. And I can't say anything different because that's what it was. That's it.
Yeah.
That's it.
Well, let's put it out then.
I know we need to.
You know what would be good too is listener questions.
It would be super good, and I wish, and I've been trying to figure out a good way, and we can talk about this later because I forgot we're 30 minutes in.
You know what? Synchronicity. This day has flown. Like normally a drive from.
Dude, I'm telling you, we're on the same wavelength. And because this will probably go out, you can call me cringy because I know I'm acting like it. I'm being like hypomanic, and
I'm hypomanic.
but like I'm hippomanic. Look at my stomach. But no, it's whatever. Call me what you want. It has been ridiculous. Like we find out Nate comes over. I've also been talking in paragraphs, and this very well may be the first, just because I don't know if the other one is as good. And sorry. Because I don't mean to be out talking you and interrupting a bunch. I feel really concise.
This is going to be how it's going to go.
I hope not. I'm the worst. But I feel really sharp and on point, and like I don't usually. I think we need to do gym sessions before our podcast.
Then, yeah.
I think that needs to be the thing. That's cool. We're literally turning into Rogan. Let's take Alpha Brain first too and get really on it.
Yeah, I haven't watched Rogan forever, man. I don't
No,
know.
we're the same. We're old Rogan listeners. Back when the sponsor was Fleshlight and they had porn stars on. Yeah, so we get back here and we're about to kick this off. We're pouring the whiskey, and Nate gets a memory on his phone from photos.
Yeah,
that says that you
no,
accidentally.
it wasn't a memory. I just hit a photo. Remember you taught me how to.
Oh, I showed
zoom
him
out?
that you can pinch out photos to make the grid like you can't see individuals, but it's all your photos, and you hit a random
I
one.
hit one.
It's a screenshot you didn't even know you took.
Yeah.
That I sent you on like Messenger that said, "Hey, thanks for having us over. You're the best." A year ago today.
Yeah. At 8:30, which would have been about an hour. No, about an hour before we saw.
Well, it would have been It would have been
about half an hour.
That's
pretty crazy.
and it's so easy because people go, whatever.
Well,
that's not even that big, but it's like, how do you hit that
coincidence.
photo in a grid how many photos do you have? 1,200?
It was a year's worth of photos, right?
Jesus Christ. Well, and then some. You probably didn't hit the top. Probably in the middle somewhere, whatever. I don't know where you.
No,
hit
I didn't hit the first photo. Yeah, it was just
It's weird to me. It's weird to me because again,
and it wasn't the only thing on the screen.
that's
It was
what I'm
just
saying.
at the bottom.
But my point is, right,
It was crazy.
I'm very aware because I'm skeptical, which is funny because I don't show this like early side of me that's based in pseudo-sciencey, pseudo-religion type stuff. You're like, how are you a fucking like super skeptic? But I understand that edge where it's like, okay, in a vacuum, that isn't fucking weird at all. When it's 4 days in a row and it's like constant, anytime I'm conscious, right? Anytime my subconscious isn't running the ship and I'm just like showering and doing nothing or whatever, sleeping. Yeah, it's there. But so that took me 25 minutes to say that I think the closest I've ever got is the awareness of synchronicity is that acknowledgement at a conscious level of the connection to everything and how tightly woven everything really is. That's the closest I've ever gotten myself.
Yeah.
Because I don't know. I don't have a fucking answer. Some people are like, you know what synchronicity is? I'm like, what? Like, it's the universe trying to tell you that you're at the right place in the right time.
It's a sign.
I don't know why that was my southern aunt with a
Yeah, I don't
terrible
know why you
accent.
did, like,
it was like my
yeah.
southern aunt that was
It
born in the
sounded
South and
like-
lived in Mass her whole life.
Is that?
Lived in Vermont.
It sounded like a horror movie voice, like that you stop at the gas station.
Sound like a straight creep. You know what that is?
You go down that road a little further.
Oh man, we do. You and I. Nate, tell me something. God, I'm like over here running my mouth.
What was I just gonna tell you too? I had it.
What do I owe you for the word vomit therapy session?
I had it. You know what's funny to me? Well, whatever. This you can edit this out, but this might just
Nothing.
flow into something. I was playing my game the other day.
Okay.
This happens a lot.
No, what's it called? Player One?
Population One.
Population One. I was thinking of Ready Player One.
Ready Player
that weird
One.
movie. It's a VR movie too,
It's the
isn't it?
same VR. Yeah, it's the same thing.
Population One.
But I've got a lot of reactions when I'm not thinking about it. When I say what, do you have things like that where people like react to certain reactions that you have?
Good question would be to people. I don't know. It's hard to. You don't have an accent to yourself.
It wasn't
Everyone
an
else does.
No,
You
somebody
just
said
say
something.
It
I
weird.
go, what? It's just like the way I said it.
Oh, and they're like, "What the fuck?"
And no, everybody like it was a melee game or whatever. Like a bunch of people on the server. And so
Right.
It was like, everybody was just going, what? Like
Oh, copying you?
Yeah. I got,
Oh.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah.
I don't talk on like I'll play Fortnite or Call of Duty or something. I don't talk anymore.
Oh, that's what I was going to tell you. You said something earlier, that reminded me of it. But you said something about Steve-O said something in layman's terms, and my kid summed something up the other day that was like
Perfect.
perfect.
I fucking love that.
He goes, we were at the lake fishing.
Yeah.
We were all in boats, so me and Francis and our guest was in the canoe, and then Rachel and Ruby are in the kayak, and then his kid is in another kayak. And there's somebody, an idiot, down there at like 8:30 at night or 7, right around 8.
Yeah.
When all the fish are biting, it's fishing time.
Yeah.
This guy brings a remote control boat. Just
And people are actually fishing too.
we were fishing.
Oh my God.
He's by the shore, but I mean it's still loud.
Yeah,
And,
yeah.
And so he's obnoxious. And Francis goes, "Hey Ruby, do you see that remote control? That's a remote control boat." And Ruby, just trying to fight, goes, "How do you know?" And like I'm trying to like Yeah.
Where you're like always thinking like, where's this going?
No, I was thinking like, how would I respond to this? But before I could respond, he goes, "'Cause I can see it and I can hear it."
Genius.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That sums it up right there.
But not to take it any deeper, but that's anyone's experience.
yeah, exactly.
It's so
That
simple.
should have been my answer because I can see it and I can hear it.
Right. But
I'm looking at it.
man, sometimes kids say it so right.
Yeah,
It's that
perfect.
simple, right? How do you know? Because I'm experiencing
Because
it.
I'm looking at it.
Right. There it is.
It's right here.
That's it.
It's in front of me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Some things are that simple too. I think as we get older, we do have a knack for using our intelligence, which is nice, and using our critical thinking and balancing things off our plethora of experience and all this fun stuff. But we also complicate shit a lot. It doesn't need to be complicated.
I can't imagine how long it would have taken me to come up with that
What?
explanation. 'Cause I can see it
Francis's?
and I can hear it.
Yeah.
If that was like the answer to a game show question. How long would it? How many guesses would it take?
Yeah, he won the
there?
F-150 in the Airstream.
Yeah.
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 He wins. Yeah, I mean, we complicate shit. I wouldn't even have an answer. I'd be like, I don't know. Kind of looks like the
How do
shape
I
of a
know?
boat. I can see someone holding something on the shore. I don't know. Maybe it's not. You got me. You're right.
Well,
it's probably
sometimes
not.
with kids, that's what I.
Yeah.
I don't know. That's what I thought. I don't know.
Yeah. Because I can see it and I can hear it. You're like, ah.
I need to say that.
one.
Another.
DJ Khaled, shut the fuck up. Oh, man. Fun stuff. What were we going to talk about? We were going to talk about the synchronicity, but I brought it to a whole different space.
You took it the round way.
Yep. A
Yep. The
30-minute
long way.
round, at least.
I gotta take it for the long. Yeah.
I love it. But where's there something? I thought we were talking about something. No, I was talking about something. I'm going to save it. I want to vet it.
You gotta check it out.
I need to vet it. I like to, I'm very careful of my, like I said, even if we don't know exactly where these are going yet, and if we're at that official mark, which is too bad because if we knew, we could celebrate the official first.
It's this one. I'm gonna celebrate with I can take a piss.
Okay. I'll hang out. Or I can go to break. That's right. I'm editing this. We'll be right back. All right. Nate has relieved himself. You feel relieved?
Man, I feel so much better. I think I gotta stick to the Basil Hayden's though, because I'm like,
Is it kicking your ass?
yeah,
I don't know if it's the whiskey or if it's you, though.
could be me.
I
maybe
want to say Basil's like the same.
No, Basil's lower.
Oh, is it?
Well, I don't know what weather is, but Basil's got a lower alcohol.
Oh, then maybe. Yeah. I also poured like a triple.
That's true.
Which was
I
real
drank
stupid.
it pretty quick, so yeah.
Yeah, me too. Me too. Which is weird. Yeah. Yeah.
You want to make a movie? I came up with a movie idea.
I'd love to make a movie.
I would too. If it was easy. I wish you could just send the idea in and they'd be like, oh yeah.
You
'Cause
can.
it's probably, oh, you can.
Well, I mean, I don't know. Yeah.
This
you
has probably
can.
Probably been done, but it would address a lot of, I think we could put a lot of our humor, thoughts into it.
Yeah, yeah.
It's like two aliens that are like fuck offs. They just like to make, they joke around too much.
They're like the outcasts.
Yeah. So the other aliens are like, we got to get rid of these guys for a little while. So they send them. This is back in like.
Should we even be giving this out? Because I already like it. There's no story yet. I just like the characters.
Yeah. We don't have to publish this part, I guess.
Let's see where it ends and maybe this gets cut.
So the aliens, they send them out. It's like the 50s when all the sightings start.
Oh, I love it, dude.
And so
I already love it, though. Even though there's no story, I'm a ham. I like the period piece. I like when it's hot and they're new.
Yeah. And
these outcasts that are like, need some loving. All right.
Yeah. So they send them out. And then they're like, we got to go to Earth to do some research. Like,
they're the ones that crash?
Yeah. So they come in.
Because they're jamming to like, well, who's 50s? Buddy Holly and stuff?
They're freaking around. Yeah.
They're like, we got to figure out these weirdos. Because we're weird to them. They're like, let's listen to their music.
Yeah, we're weird. But so the one of the things too is, well, anyway, so they're trying to get back. They want to come back, but the other aliens are fucking with them, and they're like,
oh wait, perfect time. All right.
They're like, we can't hear you. You're breaking up. You know what I mean? So there's like,
and they're laughing. They're like, shh.
Yeah. Don't talk. Don't tell. So they're trapped there. They're trapped on Earth. They crashed, right? So they're probably at Roswell. One of them has like a kind of alien Tourette's. So if you say the name of a planet, you know how like aliens can all speak the languages, like the whole universe, right?
I didn't know that.
Yeah, and they can change shape so they can look like humans, or they can look like any planet they go to.
As a producer, I'm liking this already because guess what? We only have to pay for special
low
effects
budget
until they get here and they transfer into the, the agent of Area 51. Then we just hire an actor.
Yeah. Yeah. And so the one has Tourette's where like if you say the name of the planet,
okay,
or the number of the planet, he transforms into whatever creatures from that planet.
Oh God.
And he does something weird, whatever, to the person who has invoked that.
How did you think of this?
I think I was.
You're like, I've been baking it for 10 years.
No, this was like, was I driving home?
What the fuck?
Oh, you know what? This is how I thought of it. I was listening to a podcast, and there was an alien. There's this guy named Valiant Thor. Have you heard of Valiant Thor?
Yeah. How do I know that?
I have no idea.
Is he a singer?
No, he's an alien.
Oh.
And he landed, and he's like, take me to the White House. I got to talk to the president.
Valiant Thor. I'm thinking of Thor Mickle. I don't know his name.
I don't know. Anyway, he gets to the Pentagon. They bring him in. He's like doing research here. He speaks any language on Earth.
This is like
This is like documented he's written books. Look him up on Amazon. He's got books.
This is a guy.
He wrote books.
That claims to be an alien.
Yeah.
Okay.
He has like a spacesuit made of impenetrable material.
Has anyone tested it?
Yeah. The Pentagon.
And it is, and they've come out and said it is indeed impenetrable.
This was on the podcast. I cannot.
Okay, right. This is right. You're telling the story that you didn't vet. Like, so you take
no, this
hit.
isn't the story. This is the movie idea based on a true story.
Oh,
it's based on a true story.
Okay.
Yeah,
I like this. So wait, your guy has Tourette's. What happens once they get here? Because we need the arc. What's Act 2?
Once they get here, right? So this is how all the space probe things start to happen.
Okay.
Like space stories, like they have tools they don't know how to use.
Right? Oh, because they're the dipshits of the tribe.
They didn't pay attention, so they bring them up on the ships, right?
Can we play them?
They're abducting people. Yeah.
Oh.
They're abducting people, and then they get the people up there, and they're like, "Oh, we gotta do the tests on him." And he's like, "What did you do with this one?" He's like, "I don't know, stick it up his ass."
Dude. I know who should write this.
Who's that?
Well, we could have input. You know who would kill this?
Yeah, it's gonna be.
You're like, yeah, obviously Stephen King, or I'm not letting anyone write it.
No, it's Tim Burton and Quentin Tarantino.
Oh yeah. Oh, so you're going low budget, right out of the gate in pre-production. Waste all of the budget. Andrew would kill this.
Give it to him. I'll give him
Kill
all the
it.
weed he wants to. I'll give him a
So the contract is
gallon
he will keep,
Ziploc of weed.
he would do it for nothing because he is the best and he's great. But the contract is however much weed you want, you've got it. Whenever, however, yeah.
Yeah.
Dude, no, that's a good idea. So wait, I interrupted because that's my favorite thing to do.
Okay, Steve.
Yeah. Oh.
Another one.
So wait, the act 2, the big dilemma of the script is, did you say it or did I interrupt too soon?
No, I didn't.
We need something. What happens?
What
makes the movie worth making?
climax?
Right.
Yeah.
Well, what's the problem they run into?
They can't get back home. They're trying to get back home.
The problem is they realize they were outcast at some point.
Yeah.
And that they're stuck here. And then Act 3 will be their triumph of, will we let them return? You know what I think Act 3 should be?
They don't go back.
They realize that they'd rather stay shape-shifted here because they fit in better because we're dipshits.
Because we're fucking idiots.
We're dipshit aliens.
Yeah. I like it.
I'm going to give you a little. You will never hear that full context earlier than this podcast is out, so that don't fucking touch it.
Copyright. Is that copyright?
Yes.
Yeah.
Technically. I like it. I want
I
in.
feel like
Let's
it's
shoot it.
been done. Has it not been done?
Paul was kind of close.
Who?
Paul.
Is
I
it the
think it was
cartoon?
Simon Pegg. No, it was the guys that did Hot Fuzz and
No, I
Shaun
know
of the
Simon
Dead.
Pegg. Love him.
Yeah, they did Paul. It was like their newest thing. And you know what's funny? It's like it's really well done for what it is. Really well done. Seth Rogen played the alien, and he's perfect voice actor. Perfect for that. I liked it. Jason Bateman was the Men in Black guy. You haven't seen that?
No.
Dude, you need to go, when you go home,
Is it on Netflix?
smoke some of that free weed that you got,
I'm gonna.
and watch that.
Is it on Netflix?
I hope. If not, rent it. Do something. You've got to see that. Only because it's like the newest efforts from those guys didn't get a lot of acclaim. Did you see World's End? Their newest?
No.
I think it's their newest.
Why am I not seeing this Simon? I love Simon Pegg, dude.
I wish
Shaun of the Dead.
I wasn't recording so I could look this up. So it is him. Yeah, that's him.
Yeah.
And his bigger, long-haired, funny buddy.
Yeah. The
Yes,
guy.
they were both in both of them.
Overweight guy.
Yeah. But both really good. But Paul was like a dipshit alien. He crashed his ship. Jason Bateman's hunting him down.
I love Jason Bateman.
It's like
love Seth Rogen.
Dude, you'd love.
Can we just have the same cast in our movie?
Dude, we could maybe do it. We're probably not good enough.
Yeah,
I would dare to direct it. I'm not saying I could do it well, but I would try. Do you think an empath is a good director? Not as a shoot off, but because a director's thing, like a lot of people don't. You know what a director actually does, right? What his role or her role is.
To direct
or their
actors
Well, because if you're hiring Charlize Theron, right? She knows what her anger is. Right? She knows what her sad is. She knows what her happy is. And it could be really well baked, very well ironed out. And she performs it to a T, right? But to the directorial vision of the body of work, not her performance, the movie, it has to fit that level of angry. Because it's such a threat, it's such a gradient, it's such a dynamic,
Well, when I was in my movie,
okay,
I had to get directed quite a bit.
So you know what a director does. He goes, "Oh, is that your happy?"
He's like, "Hey, listen, these guys are trying to kill everybody. You got to be
way more. You're right,
control.
right.
Yeah, get real aggressive."
Now the problem is a lot of the directors that you hear about are like that, not the one man band thing, but they have a lot more control because they're the big dog. You hear about them. They're the pioneers. They're the guys that probably do more than direct, even if that's
Spielberg.
Tarantino, Nolan, some of the with Spielberg too. Yeah, I'm sure he has way more of a say in every other department, right?
Yeah.
But
okay.
But most of the just the director will usually hand that stuff off. It's not like directors aren't signing off on edits. They are, and probably sitting in on them even. Not that they will. I mean, edits take months. They don't have the time to do that. But they'll certainly sign off on segments and as a whole and whatever. That's why there's
So you're
director
just looking
cuts.
for a huge project.
Me?
Yeah.
I mean, I love projects. I love projects. Jesus Christ, I love
We
them.
need to buy a UFO.
You know what would be really funny though is I'm one of the producers of a It's being pitched. I don't even think I can say its name because well, here's the thing. It probably is not even going to get picked up. That sounds cool till you realize the business of pitching shows. It probably will be nothing.
Oh,
right?
You pitched one yourself? Or
My team is pitching it. Our team is pitching it. That's not my idea. I helped. It doesn't matter. I'm one of the producers of a mini series that's being pitched. Right? It probably won't hit. But my point is, when you tell people, I don't tell people that. But if you did, they're like, "Oh my god!" And it's like it had the same shit. Like I've known you from way back when I was playing locally before I had.
Did you?
What do you call it? Offers.
Yeah.
But the thing is, that sounds cool. Deals in the works, right? That sounds so cool till you realize what the fuck that is. It's not cool. And 99% of the time, nothing happens. So I got in the business very early of not telling anyone anything. Because here's the problem. Not only is it probably going to fall through, but guess what happens when it does? The first thought of theirs is not, oh, it just didn't work out. It's, he's a liar. At least that was my experience. I don't know if it's because those stories are way too big for this area. They're big fish. I mean, nobody,
right. And some
at the
people
time
are telling them that.
Well, that's right.
You know what
I mean, my dad, God rest his soul, whatever, but he lied about me habitually, which helped in some ways. I mean, it created this perception that huge things were happening, which gave me a lot of leverage that I didn't know. That's why I had it to do other things, but it also was bad because when those things didn't pan out because they weren't true, it looked like one of us lied or I fucked up. And I'd have people like, I don't even go to local bars, but when I did, it would be like, oh, how did that, Atlantic Records thing go? What Atlantic Records thing? What are you talking about? Your dad told us that, and it's like, here we go. Then what do? I'm on the spot.
Right.
Because I'm like, well, do I literally tell them my dad lied?
Yeah,
right. I love my dad. I mean, I don't,
Right.
But yeah. Anyway, Jesus Christ, I'm gonna pay you to be my therapist. Do you feel like I just unload on you?
Right here, man. This is like right here. It's hourly rate.
That's a good pour too. That might be a $75 pour. But I actually love that idea. We can pause this and I'll tell you it again.
Okay.
There's nothing to do with it. I love that idea. Why don't we produce it?
Let's do it.
Okay.
I'm all in, man. I think there could be some good humor in there. There's some good violence.
Oh my god, it could be really cool.
Tourette alien would be
really funny.
One idea was like that, and Rachel. I told Rachel this just real quick too, and I was like, one idea would be that the guy that always yells 69.
Oh yeah.
So the guy that yells 69, just gets obliterated because the Tourette guy
kills him,
turns into the creature from 69.
And eats him or some shit.
Yeah,
dude,
some Tarantino shit to him.
You know what we should do? We should have them be delinquents. They've got to be anyway. Yeah. I mean, this is their.
Well,
archetype.
I was gonna call Superbad. What's his name?
Jonah Hill.
Jonah Hill.
Yeah. I love him. Michael Cera. Yeah. What would be really funny is if they had like this fucking inside joke that they call the planet because they're just delinquents, fuck her right in the pussy. And that news guy, that famous news guy, comes in like, we're here on scene at Area 51 where sources say something crashed out of the ether. And that guy comes in, he's like, fuck her right in the pussy. And the guy just turns into it and mauls him, just bites him in half.
Yeah.
And leaves his bottom half.
Well, that was the thing, is that you just get your just desserts, right?
Yeah, oh,
the
it's so good,
guy,
dude.
The guy that yells 420, he would just get like his mind blown.
Dude, I want to literally work this script out. You got me excited. You realize we could shoot that aside from the like really high-end budget shit. Like we could shoot it. We have all the stuff to shoot it.
Yeah.
The problem would just be like location scouting. I'm sure we could do like there's so much. The thing is too with a lot of people are under the impression that you need to be a millionaire to do like the artist thing. Like with music, I get that a lot. Like how do you afford the videos that you're putting out or the sounds. I literally just almost gagged at how self-important that sounds. And I don't mean that. I'm just saying I literally get. I did, like, dude. I go, oh my god, take it back. Let me rewind that. I'm a loser, and I don't do anything with music right now at all. Well, and that was not a flex. But my point is,
a loser too.
But I get that asked a lot again because we live in an area that people don't really do that much, and whatever, right? It's just what we're in. It's not that hard. It's not that hard. I mean, it's resourcefulness, right? Once you make the investment, you've got it, and you can just shoot endless content. That's it. I don't understand how people don't get that. How do you make a video look like that? Well, buy the right camera and keep shooting. I mean, it's that simple. It's like you're not born a videographer. Buy a camera and shoot and shoot and shoot and shoot and shoot and shoot and shoot. Don't stop. It's that simple. Especially if you have a mind for that aesthetic, of course you're gonna. And a lot of that too is not like you're not born with that mind either.
You're watching
watch a ton of films, and I watch a stupid amount of movies, like an irresponsible amount of movies.
Like I should be doing something.
Yeah, exactly.
I would be way further ahead.
Yeah. But the thing is, let's say let's freeball. This is fun. Let's say I am a producer on this project, right? Which maybe I am. I don't know. This could be the start.
Actually, I did. That was part of it.
Okay, so here's my idea. We shoot the desert scenes at the desert of Maine. We pledge a percentage of proceeds to go toward the conservation of that, so we get it free. We shoot with the gear we have. We get local theater actors to act it out, and we shoot a festival-size pitch trailer. Did you see the movie Whiplash about the drummer? J.K. Simmons, fantastic movie. No. They got the green light from the studio by shooting like I don't remember how long, 5 to 10 minute
trailer
scene. Not even a trailer. They shot like a really intense scene with sub actors. These weren't even the guys that ended up acting, but it was so fucking good that there was like a bidding war from studios to produce it. So we do that, we get greenlit, and we make the full thing.
Yeah. So next week, let's do it.
We have too many ideas. That's our problem.
We have a lot of
You
ideas.
actually it's funny because you don't give yourself enough credit for being creative, manic. You every time I joke about how manic I am, which I do a lot, my mania. You downplay it. You're like, well, Jesus, what's the opposite of that? That's me. You're not, dude. You're way more manic creative. You know what I find? Almost everybody is way more manic creative than they give themselves credit for. Almost everybody.
Maybe. But
dude,
just don't think
most people I meet. Yeah.
You don't think your ideas
it's
are
a
good
confidence
enough.
issue.
I wouldn't have told you that.
Yeah. And I'm the first to say, and I'm talking to you, not him, I'm a piece of shit. I'm not, I realize.
This is not true.
It is. It is. And I realize how self-righteous some of this stuff sounds. If I'm coming off like that, I don't mean it. The other thing is, I'm used to this, so I forget sometimes that that's what we're doing, and I'm just talking to you.
Yeah.
And then I realized you know me in context, so this stuff doesn't come off like I'm an arrogant piece of shit.
Oh, you think it comes off weird?
I don't know if it does. I'm trying to be safe. I really do. If it sounds like it, trust me, I don't think highly of myself.
He's a good dude.
Well, I don't know about that either. But, dude, I love this. Let's make this a long one, and we'll make it the first one. What do you think?
Yeah, let's do it.
Because it's an hour in, and I don't want to stop. I actually don't want to stop.
Can we get a
You know what?
half a?
Do you want to pause and I leave, or do you want to do it?
Oh, I don't care. I'll do it.
Okay, because I'll run this. Yeah. Do you not mind?
No. Do I not mind pouring myself alcohol?
If you want to chill, do the basils. If not, do the Elijah Craig.
Yeah.
Go in. All right, we'll be right back, guys. Sorry about that. Welcome back. We had to take a short libation pause, and we are back. You might have seen a little logo or something on the screen because we had to make a cut to make sure these files transfer because we are taking the long haul.
Yeah, man.
We're having such a good time.
Baby.
That's right. Cheers again.
Cheers to the Eli.
Yeah, that's right. Elijah Craig. That's right. Yeah, now, like I said, when they couldn't hear, now you know why guys love Weller.
Wow.
Yeah. Weller's too smooth. It sets an unrealistic precedent. It's ridiculous. Also, pro tip for the people that don't know, Weller is practically baby pappy. I mean, it's the same mash bill. It's sometimes the same still, from what I hear. Get yourself, not that you can. That's the thing. Everyone knows that now. So
right.
Good luck finding Weller. If you do, hit me up. But yeah, we're deciding this goes out.
Let's do it.
Okay.
Why not?
So we are doing the long haul. That was like an hour in, and you don't want to stop either, right? I'm not pressuring you.
I got nothing to do, man.
I love it. So what were we talking about? The movie's a hit. We need to talk about that.
We got to rate the
Oh,
movie.
right. Before you refilled, I said we've got a ton of ideas we need to do. I didn't realize that this is also what you were thinking of, because I told him at the gym that I actually, whatever channel, that's the thing. I'm going to be making a new channel for this, for all of them. So this will be on a new channel. Unfortunately, like my music subscribers won't be a starting base. So we won't have any, we'll have whoever watches it, which is fine because it'll grow.
Fine. That's how we want to do it, right?
Yes. But I'm going to be
organic.
making a collective. I'm going to be making a channel because we were talking about the gear and doing productions. How do you do them? Do them. Nothing's free. It's still a business. People think that these, because of the Rogans that tell everyone, hey, do a podcast. They're like, you can just do one. And you can. You can record a podcast audio only on an iPhone with Apple earbuds, and it will sound good enough for a podcast. It will. You can't do this with that. I mean, if you want a certain look, you do have to make an initial start. But where I have it, and I have the recording studio that's properly set up for that, the sound is right. I'm going to make a TV channel, a radio station, if you will, a collective on, we'll call it the elective collective, the eclectic collective, the reflective collective. We're getting there.
Getting there.
Rock tumble, baby. I'm all about the rock tumble. I need to buy a rock tumbler. I talk about them too much.
Somebody just was, anyway.
But so I think Nate and I will have our own podcast because I fucking love talking with you. I appreciate you listening and being a bounce. We do need an awe button because it's so good. I'll make one. I need to program it. But so we will have our own. I might do one music centric just because why not? I've done it so long. It'd be fun, and I could probably get some cool guests. And me and Steve probably want to do one. I really do think it's not as refined yet, but I do believe there is a magic to the trio.
Yeah, I think we should keep that.
I like that, and I like that they will all benefit, of course, inherently by the fact that they're all on the same channel. So maybe the people that would be naturally inclined to listen to whatever the fuck we're talking about might not listen to the trio, or they might not listen to my own about music or with guests.
Maybe not, or maybe they listen to all of them.
That's right, but they couldn't help to kind of cross brand. So look for that, and yeah, it's fun. Someone bought a rock tumbler.
So, like Facebook Marketplace. No, actually, what was it? Like we have this Buy Nothing project. Have you seen that?
No.
It's a project. Apparently, it's nationwide.
Buy Nothing, like B-Y Nothing or B-U-Y?
No, B-U-Y. Buy Nothing. You can ask for things. You can just give things away.
But no one pays.
No one pays.
That's cool.
Somebody asked for a rock tumbler the other day, which I hadn't heard that since like 1990.
And they got it?
No, I don't know. I didn't. I just was like, what? A rock?
I thought it was just like, I was under the impression, I actually think Andrew's stepdad, does that. I could be wrong. He could check me because if this goes out, he'll see it. But
he does that?
His for fun, I think.
Oh,
I think he does.
If you need your rocks tumbled.
Yeah, go see him. No, I really think he did.
My cousin had one when we were growing up.
I always thought it was like, kind of like dump it in a cement mixer and let it go. But it's like, apparently it's pretty, there's like a lot of steps. Because I think I saw someone on TikTok do it. You have to put it in a solvent of... Oh, really? Not tempered sand, but I'm butchering this. But there's a process. I saw someone do it.
Just use your dryer.
Yeah. You actually probably could. But again, you need a agent that's going to act as your sandpaper, your smoothening process.
Did you say smoothening?
Yeah, I don't know. Does that work?
Speaking of dryers...
I got to go back. Oh, we're down. We're too low. You need an agent that acts as a smoothing agent. But speaking of dryers, what happened?
Oh, well, I just wanted you to know that these pants cost me. Do you guess how much these pants cost me?
The problem is, it's
Dickies.
either a lot or a little.
They're Dickies brand.
Okay, so either they put out a new thing.
No, these are standard pants. I think I bought them at Rennie's or Walmart.
I do carpentry for my own shit in designer jeans because I'm a moron. And I don't know what that stuff costs. I'm going to guess a lot because guys will pay for it. 50?
$500.
No, they fucking did not. No, they didn't. No, they didn't.
Well, they cost like, I don't know, $40 probably.
Right.
They cost me $500 because this side pocket is like too shallow, and I dropped out a $500 piece of equipment.
Oh,
This is a trick question.
Another one.
I literally was waiting for you to say I had to get them custom from the factory, and in the taint area is property of paling. And I was like, okay, now I get it.
No.
Those are the ones that you drop the
Yeah.
infrared out of.
Yeah.
We should talk about this off the podcast, but you should come infrared my house so you could tell me why the upstairs is an oven
I will.
in the daytime.
I will.
Because when they check for bats, they're like, you have like a foot of blown-in insulation. I don't know or you probably might have told me that when you inspected it. Apparently, the whole attic has like a foot of blown-in insulation.
Which is not enough.
Oh, it isn't?
No. You're like 20 inches.
More than any of my fucking houses. I'd never had any of that.
Just preaching the choir here, man.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
But
No,
anyway,
it's
yeah.
20 inches, I think, is like standard now.
Wow, I couldn't believe it because, like, you know, the ice heaves and shit. I'm like, there's no insulation in there. It's like, no, there's a foot.
Yeah, you could have no ventilation.
I think I need soffits. I think I need cooling too
Or
because
just
it's melting.
Cable end is easy too. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, right. I didn't even think of that.
Just cut them in. I did it on the other house.
Triangles at the both
Squares.
phases.
You can do squares, triangles, whatever you want. Circle. You can do circles, man, if you want.
Maybe that's why when they check the top of my attic at the second floor of my barn is open. You could look in it.
Oh.
And I go, well, that's awful. And he goes, yeah. And I said, are you sure bats got in there? He goes, well, I can see their guano, whatever it's called, going right in.
Yeah.
And I'm like, great.
Yeah.
Thank you. Have a great day, sir. I'm going to be stressed about this for a week.
We'll patch it up for you.
Here we go.
I put
you guys heard
the
that.
other day.
I'm going to post an update on our Instagram when he doesn't come help me pageant. I don't need his help, but it'd be nice to have him here.
I have the ladder.
That's true. Yeah, that's true. I need to up my game. The homeowner game is real. God, we're not as bipolar as the conversations we have, are we? Maybe we are.
No, yeah, we are.
Okay. I thought we were.
Gets low sometimes.
Yeah. Well, we went from the outer extremes of spirituality
We were on the fringe.
to a stoner buddy flick
Yeah.
disguised as an alien movie
Mm-hmm.
to
Based on a
Holmes.
true story, though. But yeah. To Holmes, yeah.
And is it? Wait a minute. Is that the selling point, or it is based on a true story?
Dude,
Oh, it's based on the
they claim it's
That
true.
guy,
I don't know,
yeah.
I think it always sticks in my head when it says like made with 100% real beef.
why? Oh, because they trademarked that.
No,
or
but don't you
something?
think like
Didn't they do
they're
that?
so
Didn't they do some seedy shit like
so
they trademarked
slimy.
that saying, or that they trademarked real beef, 100% real beef, so that it was a saying instead of an ingredient? Is that true?
I don't know, but I was thinking they would be shady enough to do something like that, or just have like 100% like a piece of beef
Right.
on the counter,
And grind it.
and then and they're just it's there, it's with. I mean,
Oh, made with it.
how you doing there, beef?
That's it.
Good. We're still making this fake shit over here.
This smells better though.
It's aromatic.
Yeah, it is. No doubt. It's full. This is
got
like
some-
if this was a cigar, this is the fullest body cigar I've ever smoked. Elijah Craig barrel proof. Oh, we didn't say. That's right. I don't know why we always just drink whiskey.
Yeah,
We're not even super whiskey
we're
nerds.
not, like putting it up.
No. But it is good. Elijah Craig barrel proof. It's
that
super
first-
stupid strong.
That first couple sips.
But I'm pretty sure that's the whole point. It's just poured. It doesn't matter. Whatever proof it ended up being after its aging process, that's what they
just
pour.
Poked a hole in
Yeah.
the barrel. Yeah,
And it does have a lot of flavor that way. Like this
Still
is
going.
so flavorful.
it's still going.
Peanut butter, like
Have
caramel.
you tried the peanut butter whiskey?
I wouldn't. Here's the thing. It could be good and I could even like it. I won't drink it. I don't want my whiskey to taste like anything.
My buddy was like, we were at his daughter's birthday party.
The screwball stuff.
He's like, have you tried the screwballs?
And did you?
And I hadn't tried it before, and I'm like, nah. I said I almost bought it the other day, but I was like, nah, I couldn't pull the trigger on it.
No.
So he brought it out, and I think they put some kind of like Allen's.
Oh, that's the okay.
It was like peanut
I'm
butter
out.
and
I'm out.
jelly.
No, I'm way out.
But I just tried the peanut butter whiskey, and I tried it, and he's like, isn't that good? And I'm like, no, this is terrible.
Thank you.
This
The
is-
problem is, you know who likes that?
Everybody.
Everyone
else.
that doesn't drink straight whiskey. That's like, oh, look, we added something. So it's, you don't taste the whiskey. No thanks.
To be honest, though, when I drank Tennessee Honey, Jack Daniels,
I've had it, I think, once in
I thought that
Florida
was
when I
good.
was a tour before I was supposed to be
when I
drinking.
was 15.
Straight up.
Yeah,
The young globe traveler here that didn't actually get to experience anything because I was too young.
that could have been it.
That was stupid. But no, I did, and I didn't like it because it was sickening. Like, we were already drinking. So then you have it, it's like a syrup, and I'm like,
Yeah.
but
Speaking of globetrotting, when are we going to Cuba? I almost bought tickets.
not
the other
Cuba,
day.
unfortunately, because we can't sell them here. Not
What?
No,
Yeah,
no Cuban goods. No,
Yeah.
still embargo. We can't sell
When?
them
Since
here
when?
since the Cold War, right?
No, they brought it back, dude.
You can bring them in.
Obama said
You can't sell them.
mm,
There's no. I know only because you can't, or at least for cigars, it's exempt. They're not exempt.
Are you sure?
100%.
No way.
Yeah, I swear. You cannot buy Cuban cigars in this country from out of it or in it.
Since Obama?
Yeah. Yes.
Really?
Yeah. Well, you can bring them in because of Obama legally. You
So
used to have to hide them.
I got you.
Yeah, but you could go anywhere, Mexico, England, wherever, find a LCDH and bring them in. And you could be checked and they'd be fine. They'll let them go. But you can't buy them. You can't, like, I have to, if I buy Cuban, well, I'm not going to say it because I don't buy Cubans. But the people I know that buy Cubans buy them from Switzerland. They buy them from China.
Yeah.
They have them shipped over.
I brought him home from Costa Rica.
Yeah, I don't say much confidently, but I know you can't, at least cigars. I know you can't sell Cuban cigars here.
Oh, okay.
100%.
Huh.
But I know that Trump, when he was the president, I want to say he was getting a bad rap because he was making it harder, weirdly, because that's his like base.
Right.
A lot, or at least I don't know that, but a lot of the cigar guys I hang with supported him. But he, I think he made it harder. I think. I don't remember.
Yeah,
I don't keep up. I don't even.
I
You know
was
what, dude?
Convinced you could. Yeah.
Yo, I swear you cannot.
But you can go to Cuba now, which is
You
cool.
can, yeah.
Yeah.
And again, you can bring them back.
Yeah.
You cannot sell them. You can't sell any goods here from Cuba. Well, I was just going to tell you something about that. Oh, Cubans. Yeah, not to get down the cigar path, but dude, that might have been the case where Cubans were the best in the whatever 60s, 70s. These other countries are killing it.
Who's good now?
Dominican puros. The blends are great. Any are great. Puros are good. They'll full country blends. Arturo Fuente. Is that how you'd say that?
Arturo. Yeah.
Mostly puro Dominican. Sometimes they do a Connecticut broadleaf wrapper. The
That
añejo
blows
line.
my mind.
Well, Connecticut
That blows
broadleaf
my
wrapper
mind.
is the most popular wrapper in the cigar world right now. It's huge.
That's great.
They're not always grown in Connecticut. Most of them are grown in Connecticut.
It's just this plant.
Yeah, Nick Malillo used to work at Drew Estate, owns a huge barn. I'm actually going to go see it. You should come.
I like Drew Estate, so
Yeah, you. That's right. When you smoke, you're an acid guy. Yeah, acids are fantastic. They're the king of the industry. We'll get some cigar. I'll share this on my cigar stuff, and yeah, we'll get some people that they'll probably just tune into this part, but whatever. He's huge. You should come because Drew Estate's doing I think the Barn Smoker event is there. Why wouldn't it be? Nick worked for John forever. You'd think it would be, but anyway, Dominican puros are cool. Nicaraguan is fantastic. Honduran. I'm seeing Costa Rican. Weirdly enough that you say it. Some of the big ultra premiums right now are Costa Rican. Byron, Atabay, huge.
yeah.
Yep.
Well, we should go. I got contact.
We should. We need to work. We need to iron that idea out. And which is funny because we came full circle on accident because we at that movie spiel we were talking about. We have too many ideas. We need to. The problem is our friendship now has the dilemma that I have alone, which is
It's just
a lot of good ideas,
Yeah.
way too many. You
Gotta
can't
focus
allot.
on one at a time.
Yeah. I do want to put a lot more effort, and I think it's good to have accountability. So I think it is good, even though I shy away from saying this concrete. I do want to put more effort into this.
Oh, you do.
Yeah, I think that we are just two more dipshits, but I think we bring a unique taste. We have unique filters. We have unique experiences to speak on, even if it's not about things we know. Obviously, no one's going to have our take. which is cool. We have a good banter. We bounce well. We don't shy away. Like I said to you before we started, it's like a lot of people, I feel like they're kind of peeking out of windows of a facade when they're on the mic. They're not comfortable with it, and they don't want to be vulnerable. I couldn't give a fuck, and you do not, and that's huge. It's hard. That's like, a huge portion of, at least in my perception, which again, I'm always projecting, but at least to me, a thing that makes most people endearing to me is a genuine honesty and an openness, because it's rare these days. Everyone's afraid and timid and hiding, and me too.
It's been a tough couple of years for
Good
being
God.
open.
Another one.
I'm cool with another year, another one. But yeah, no, I do want to put more energy. I also have a lot of fun. I get a lot of we talk, I don't know if we've said this on it. Well, this would be the first, so we haven't, but we talk a lot about a lot of manic creative ideas, emptying gas tanks, and giving that much of yourself to someone, right? Not reserving anything really depletes you. This kind of fills me back up.
Yeah, that's what I said too.
Which is weird, because this would be the first creative endeavor I've had that does that. I'm not kidding. I mean, a lot of my utter laziness to make a new record or do anything music-wise it exhausts me. And when you don't have a lot to give, it's the last thing you want to do.
Yeah.
And again, no pity. I don't want anything from that. It just is true. It is what it is.
No, yeah, I know.
This doesn't do that, which is really refreshing. I think, again, winning, man. Charlie Sheen, winning.
Tiger blood.
Yeah, that's right.
Yep.
But no, yeah, I think it's cool.
We should have Charlie Sheen on.
Huh?
We should have Charlie Sheen on.
Jesus Christ. You and your budgets. I'm like trying to run
We'll
and
have
gun
him
it.
on the Tarantino one.
Yeah, we'll save him for the Spielberg episode with Clint Eastwood and Oprah.
Oh man.
I'm Charlie Cunningham, and this is my wife, Oprah. Oh man.
Yeah, we got to get on some of these. Well, yeah, if we focus on one idea, we should be good.
Yeah, and then do the others. We're not getting younger.
No.
That's what I hate too, because like time moves quicker, and your responsibilities always heighten or at least I'm noticing as I get older. My responsibility levels, they don't feel higher sometimes because my routine to deal with them's better, but it's way more. The shit that I'm responsible for and accountable for, it's way higher. So it seems in that paradigm a lot harder to push forward on an idea, but you're gonna wish you did in 5 years, and when you didn't. I do this all the time.
Yeah. You're like, oh, I could have just done a little at a time and been there, but
Well, and this is why I say bumper stickers aren't helpful. Knowledge that you haven't gained personally and converted into wisdom doesn't help you. Like when people said, the first best time to start is yesterday. The second best is right now. That always jaded me. That idea was like, yeah,
I'm
but
fucking late.
well, yeah. Well, my first best time to start was a decade ago. So when's my second best time? 7 years. So right now is like my 400th best time. Right.
Best time.
And I would just let it fuck me up when it's like, okay, fuck anyone's stupid, easy to digest social media saying. And how about, hey, dipshit, do something.
You know what the social equivalent of that is right now?
No.
Long beards.
I know. You know what's funny? I just talked about this. Talk about synchronicity. I'm not kidding. In that little limo bus the other night when they were talking about facial hair, that was the topic, of course. Somebody talked about long beards and how they're out.
They're out now.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, I think beards are going away now.
Fuck, I hope not, dude. I use my beard to hide my little...
Yeah, I'm growing my kids are like, you need to grow your beard back. And I'm like, yeah.
Even
After
just a little
talking
guy
about
like
the
this.
little fat hair.
Yeah, I've got some.
I saw
We can't help it.
I saw a guy cut my hair the other day. Cut my hair. And he had a long beard. And I'm like, you know what that is? That's just saying, hey, I thought of this way before you.
You're like, you know what that is? Out of style.
Yeah.
Another one.
Yeah. But back when it was cool,
Oh,
the
long beards
longer the
were in,
beard,
man. Yeah.
you're just like, hey, look what I thought of before you.
Well, I think it also depends on your like social circle, because like sometimes I think about that stuff, especially stylistically, and I see it a lot in design, where someone's like, "Oh, this fad," you see some stuff and you're like, "Oh, they're doing that again." You know what I mean? It's a glaringly apparent in music. You'll hear something that's very obviously recycled, especially if you're a musician, and you're like, "Oh, we're on that kick again. Here we go." It all depends on who you are, because you realize that 9 out of 10 social circles or cliques don't know that's recycled, don't know that that's a thing again.
We'll have to next episode come with an idea of what's the next.
Yeah.
What is one of the next
Fads
to hit? Yeah.
and make predictions.
Yeah.
I love it. I've always thought of that. I actually, when I like 10 years ago, I was trying to be the next Bon Jovi. Only because I was like, okay, who's being recycled? Lady Gaga's Madonna. I'm like, Justin Bieber's any of those teen heartthrobs, single guys, Duran. I don't know who. That's way before my time.
Justin Bieber Spanish recycled.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah,
he did a song in Spanish.
No,
somebody
did his like.
A Spanish Justin Bieber,
and it was like, oh, that's the Justin Bieber riff right there.
Yeah. But it's always recycled. I mean, someone takes the place of the past of somebody. All the boy bands were always from. You were wearing a New Kids on the Block shirt,
yeah,
like NSYNC, Backstreet Boys, BTS,
well,
the new version.
All of them. I don't know who BTS is.
It's the new. It's a K-pop band. They're Korean, but it's a new boy band.
I couldn't admit that before. I love that.
Fuck yeah, who gives a shit?
I love fucking boy bands, dude.
No wonder this is such a fucking outlet for you. You can't talk about even that shit.
Oh no.
Another one.
No way.
Oh my god.
You can't. I couldn't be like, yo, man. You guys remember that New Kids song?
They're like, dude, I gotta go mow my lawn. Fuck you. I don't know what this is, but you better snap out of it by the time I get back.
You don't have a tractor?
I'm like, I know what this is, but you better snap out of it. You better come too by the time I get back here.
Damn it, Bobby.
No, dude. Yeah, it is, and that is cool. I was like, who's the new Bon Jovi? And now I look. It's so funny again with maturity and with wisdom, if you want to call it, comes like clarity. And I'm like, thank God I wasn't the new recycled Bon Jovi. Oh my God, I loved him growing up, but I didn't have him growing up. I loved him in the past. I mean, I was younger, and we're like looking at who are these hype guys that big groups loved. Me and my young like middle school, high school band, and we're watching Guns N' Roses, AC/DC, Bon Jovi. We're like, these guys, there's so much power, there's so much energy, and that's all you have then. And so yeah, we tried to replicate
I heard the other day was Alanis Morissette.
She's great.
No, but I heard a song that riffed her.
Oh, you heard a new one?
I'm like, oh, that's an Alanis.
Yep.
So maybe she's coming back.
Yeah, there's tons of them. And I mean, I don't think there's anything wrong to, musically like sounding like your influences. I hope I'm right. I think John Mayer said, my inability to sound like the people that influence me make me sound like me.
Mm-hmm.
That's cool. That's fine. I don't mind hearing elements recycled.
He's like trying,
but
not.
Like I don't mind listening to John and finding these blues icons and pieces. Like, there's a B.B. King riff. Yeah. Oh, there's a Clapton. That's cool.
Yeah.
But having a complete carbon copy is kind of annoying, which is rich coming from the cover king. I mean, that's my thing, which is terrible, but it is what it is.
Yeah.
I know what it is. I'm not unaware. Dude, this edited together is going to be like an hour and a half.
Nice. Perfect.
I still got whiskey left, though. I don't know what you want me to do.
Me too, man.
Okay, we're going to talk a little more. Listen, I have railroaded, to put it lightly, this whole conversation. Is there something that you want to talk about that we haven't?
No, we talked about my Alien movie.
Dude, I love it.
I did get high the other day.
Okay.
And had the best time.
Really?
In the refrigerator.
You were, hold on. What? You were in the refrigerator?
I was looking for stuff to eat.
Oh, because I saw you like naked, like shoving more grapes in your mouth, like you pulled out the fucking racks and you're just sitting there. having a grand time.
That is how I laugh.
That's great. Is it?
That was a good impression.
But it's okay. No, you're just.
I was just in the fridge, like looking for food, and I was having a conversation in my head.
Okay.
That was both sides. Like, it was like
Schizophrenic.
It was fucking great. Yeah.
You're like, no.
No, I'm sure it was. Yeah. But
No,
I was
I've
just
had that.
thinking it would be awesome to be able to do that in public.
Well, you could do it for a certain amount of time, and then you would be doing it at St. Mary's. Yeah.
Yeah.
That I've had those. Well, continue.
Oh no, I was gonna say it ended with the guy yelling, "Check your altitude." At that was the last.
But that when you say that guy, you mean you.
Yeah.
I love it.
It's great.
This brings us again full circle, dude. We are tight tonight.
Why first? What was that?
Well, because that was another. That was a Neil Donald Walsh trip, which is what we weirdly started with for no reason. Was that talking to yourself?
Oh yeah.
A lot of times you can, trauma victims can do that. Like BPD or.
Well, that's what that book I gave you is for.
Yeah, no, I haven't even looked in it. I put it in here because this is like the special room. The studio's like the fucking. Again, here I go saying, I don't buy Neil Donald Walsh. I'm just saying it's a cool subject. But here I am. I've got a sanctuary of a studio. I've got crystals everywhere I did. I'm a psycho. But it is in here for that reason. This is like, no one touches it. Not even the pets touch this room.
I think I could just sum that up for you. I mean, it's like basically talking to yourself.
To be straight up, with the plethora of business ideas and the shortage of time, that'd be great.
Yeah.
What is it?
That's it. I mean, talk to yourself like you talk to your buddy, like you talk to me.
Yeah, you know what's funny about that? I have realized that. And I actually, which is funny because I don't know how, but I realized a lot of feedback I get from people that are now close to me, like post-recent trauma, never mind early life stuff, have said that. Like, I give a lot to the friends that made the cut. And I don't mean that in a bad way. I'm a piece of shit. I've said it a million times. I am in no way a well ironed out person.
So this would be not
the way to talk to yourself. And I'm not. I'm talking to whoever sees this because I don't want this to be misread as I think I'm some like guru.
Yeah.
I am an idiot, dude. And I am not ironed out and I am the farthest from perfect, but I'm saying I did realize like if I'm going to give what I give to people, I can't give it to everybody. I don't have it in me. And that's a huge reason I've become hermetic's not the term. A hermit. Different words. But a hermit. A shut-in is that I do give that to everyone and then I have nothing for me.
No, right.
Nothing.
Yeah.
Or the people that deal with me on a date, my girlfriend, my family, my pets. I don't because I give it. I genuinely give it. And I can't do that. So going forward, yeah, the people that usually that I make an honest effort and time for do the same for me.
Do you know what's cool about that? Well, you know who highlights that?
Who?
The Satanists.
I believe it, yeah.
Yeah.
That's something also, by the way, I know that we were talking about how making a pseudo TV station channel, which is not new. A ton of people do that.
Yeah.
It's new for us. It's a new idea for me. It's a new idea for people like in this area for this level of production, to my knowledge. I mean, I'm sure there's some. But I also think we could benefit from guests too. Like I do want to do the Rogan one-on-one thing because I
would love guests, man.
But I think we should too because like that's something you and I've talked about. Like again, and this is maybe a good point too. It did toward the tail end of this is that we did start this very pseudo-spiritual and it's like neither of us are religious people at all.
At all.
Not at all. To the point where when we started this idea a year ago or a year and change ago, and we were doing very early trials, you bought and brought a Bible of Satanism. Kelsey and I went to the Church of Satanism just because it's a museum too, and it was a cool thing to see. And when you're in Salem, Mass, like,
right.
What are you going to go see? Because I don't have the superstition base of that. Like it didn't matter. It's another building that people think is something. I don't give a fuck. It means nothing to me. So to see it was really, well, one, get this, they were the nicest people we ran into on that trip. Yeah, right. And the art was fantastic. Like it didn't make you feel good, but it made you feel, and it was honest, and it was efforted, and I dig that. I don't give a fuck. Your art doesn't have to make me feel good. I certainly don't want it to tell me how to feel.
I wouldn't put it in my house if it didn't.
No, neither would I.
But
It doesn't
I'd go
have
see
to be
it.
my cup of tea to appreciate.
Right.
Right. I don't listen to a lot of metal. I don't listen to a ton of like good hip hop, but bet your ass I can respect good versions of either of those. Of course I will. It doesn't matter if I like it. My liking of something doesn't make it good. It makes it an opinion of it, and that's it. But my point was, that's what we started with. Like, I remember telling you, you had told me, you're like, I'm going to bring a wrench to throw in this engine. I'm like, well, Jesus Christ, it's barely running, so don't do that. And then you told me, and I was like, oh, it's really good. And then you're like, we're going to disguise this as, I'm going to read the tenets of this group, and we're going to see if either of the other two can guess what it's from. And they, of course, wouldn't and didn't. But, yeah, I mean...
Yeah, that didn't go very far. We could have.
It didn't. Well, we
fleshed
didn't.
that out.
Yeah, we definitely didn't make it a shtick enough to have it go anywhere. That was the problem. I mean, we could have really drove it home.
Yeah.
But it would be cool to interview anyone. Like, and that's the thing. Like, again, I'm so overly cautious of who might receive this package, this podcast, and hear it. So I always say, I don't care. Like, I'll have a Catholic priest on. I'd like to have a rabbi. Guess what? I don't even care about, let's have no religion. Scratch
Dude,
it all.
I got this guy that works at Bourbon. I would love to have.
Is it the long-haired guy that I still don't know his name and I'm an asshole?
No, the guy that sings all the time?
Obashan?
Yeah.
I don't even know. Jordan?
No. This tall dude, man. He gets off work, puts on a leather jacket,
No.
rides his bike.
Bicycle?
Yeah, bicycle.
I love him.
He's like,
I already love him.
He's huge. He's like,
Listens to Sister Christian by Night Ranger on his
happy
bicycle.
To be there. I don't know.
Motoring. Could you imagine?
He's super happy to be there. Yeah. There's tons of people I would bring on this thing.
I think I change. I alter my idea of doing the Rogan clone alone. Well, I will still do that, but I think we need guests. Because I was going to say, you and I, we have such a specific, it's not canter. What's the word? We have a specific flow.
Yeah.
We also stay on topic like too well for, I mean, I'm endlessly manic. I know you are to an extent, but it's like, it's not like me to stay in a subject.
I like to change it up a little.
It's good. I need it. Because I definitely get carried away. But no, I think guests could be really cool, especially once you and I iron this out even better. I mean, this is far better than the first one. Or the one before it, or the 15 before that.
I still think we're not there, but you know what I mean?
But you want this one out. There's a lot of good in this one.
No. Yeah. No, but I mean, like, once you see our 100th episode.
Oh, yeah.
It's going to be like.
Well, now that I know this is going out, I feel like my branding mind's kicking in, my like marketing mind. I feel like we're not engaging enough. What should we say? If you stumble on this, please subscribe. It's sad. I was
smash that like button.
Yeah, I know. I was just going to go down that road. I was literally just excusing the fact that I hate that I had to say, please subscribe and ring that bell so you know when we upload. But seriously, the problem is back when YouTube started, not even when it started, when I put like my first video for music on YouTube, you didn't have to ask anyone any of that because number one, most of it wasn't a thing. I don't even know if likes and dislikes were a thing yet. I don't remember. You'd have to look at my earliest and see. But I mean, it was not a thing. You know, there weren't all these channels being like and subscribe, hit the like button if you liked it. Everybody
smash that like button.
Yeah, my cigar stuff, I have to do it because that's what all of them do, and it works. I mean, I think people like when you actually engage, even though it's not. I mean, we're talking to a phone.
I think we could do the opposite. Like my kids, it works really well if you like don't eat that. Those are my French fries.
I like the middle ground. How about this? I'm going to make an appeal. You don't have to like it or dislike it. And you don't have to pity subscribe. But if you like the way we're talking, if you like the tense that we're talking in, not tense, please subscribe.
We could do this in a tent, though.
We could do it in a tent. I've thought about it. But yeah, if this is your thing, because I think that's what we want, right?
We don't want followers. Do not hit that. don't touch the subscribe button.
Okay, I like it. Don't subscribe. Just watch.
That should not be there.
And you don't even have to watch. Just listen. And you don't have to listen.
It'll
Just
probably ruin your computer if you touch it.
yeah. We're gonna wire a malware, a bot that if you hit that subscribe button,
Boom, baby.
Sorry, not sorry. We warned you.
See ya. Yeah, we told you. I thought I came up with a joke one time.
One time?
One time, yeah. Have you ever come up with a joke?
No. I mean, sure. Not a good one.
No, I mean like a real joke. Like, what was this? Like, I got invited to.
You want that bottle? Holy.
That's rough, man. It was something like these people invited me to go. These swingers invited me to go camping.
Oh, you went in. Okay. I thought this is like a stand-up setup.
Oh, is
like
it?
You're setting up the premise. I'm waiting for the punch.
Yeah.
Here we go.
Yeah, kind of.
Okay.
Yeah. It was like these swingers invited me to go camping one time.
Okay.
It was fucking intense.
You came up with that?
No, I thought I did, but I think it was already there. Some similar joke.
That's...
But it's a good
If
joke.
you came up with that...
Another one.
It was...
I gave you everything. Like 4 times.
Yeah, that was pretty good, right?
That's awesome. If you didn't come up with that, props to who did. But if you did,
But the problem
well
is...
done.
How do you know? You listen to enough stand-up?
That's the thing. You know, I actually thought of this. I listened, the bulk of the podcasts I listen to are comedians.
Yeah.
And a lot of the time it's talked about within their circles that it's really hard not to rip people off. Because, like, I thought, well, music's hard not to rip people off. But no, it's nature is to rip people off. It is. So. I mean, there's only so many chords. And there's only so many patterns you can play them in.
Well, the song you helped me with, you basically pushed through. I checked that a million times. I'm like, there's got to be. Oh,
the problem is like,
be a song.
Yeah, the problem is you can't not. With me producing it and playing it, of course you're ripping off every influence I have. Because that's the only thing I can pull from.
Yeah, but I mean, even the tune, just any part of it, I was like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But they act like it's, well, and there's the difference. I mean, if I'm singing Back in Black and I'm packaging it as my song, that's pretty obvious. But, yeah, comedians apparently have an extremely hard time with that. It's talked about all the time.
I would have a hard time too. When Rogan confronted Mencia.
That's such an epic video.
Yeah.
Only him too.
Yeah.
And it's funny because like all the comedians that apparently didn't think so or didn't act like he did, the second Joe put him on the spot, because Brian, that was back when Red Band still produced, because he was the one taping. And he puts him on the spot. He's like, you're saying he didn't steal a joke? And Carlos is so sure they're going to say no, and they all say yes. Even Bobby Lee, who was Carlos's like right-hand man, like his opener.
He must have been doing it for a long time.
Forever.
You can't just do one.
Apparently, well, Amy Schumer ripped off.
Oh, yeah. Wasn't her like act like.
Well, like the first thing was like, she's the one to shit on. So I'm like, oh, I don't know how much I believe.
Right.
Then you look up a YouTube compilation of jokes that she stole and they date them. It's ridiculous. And here's the problem. I'm going to go out on a super far limb, way too far in to bring this up, but this is the problem with ghostwriting. It is also thought that she may have ghostwriters, people that write with and for her that don't get acknowledged because it can't look like she wrote. A lot of people say Taylor Swift has ghostwriters. She was far too good for that young, and that they just bought off these writers to write for her and never claim any copyrights and whatever. The problem with that is you're taking all the liability for their theft, if that's true. That's entertaining that that's a reality. It might not be, and she might just be a thief. But when can you? So like Dane Cook stole. And you remember when Louis C.K. before he was canceled had the show Louis?
Yeah.
And it was like this very sobering, somber take on his experience in life. It was, I hear it's fantastic, and it sounds like my thing, but I've never seen it.
I haven't seen it either.
We should both watch a piece of it and talk about it. But he had Dane Cook on, and they talked.
Does he confront him on the show?
On the show.
I've seen the clip.
Yep.
But I didn't know it was a show. I thought it was just like a...
That's how the show's played off, is it's just a thing. It's like The Office, but not that cheerful and dumb. You know, not Office isn't dumb, but
Just more
the jokes are
depressing
played off as like they're airheads,
right.
these actors. But But yeah, and Dane's was kind of isolated, so I do get the Dane excuse.
He's done. I haven't seen him do it.
Yeah,
has he?
He's making was making a resurgence. He's been on like everyone's podcast. Everyone's.
Really?
Oh, everyone's.
Yeah.
Bert Kreischer, Tom, all the comedians.
Really?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah. Yeah. Dane always, well, the other thing was his brother, I mean, stole all his money. That was his like financial dude. Stole everything.
His own brother?
Sent him to prison. Wouldn't even look at him in court. Interesting story.
Dane sent his brother to prison?
Well, I mean, the courts did. I mean, he straight up did it.
But he
there was no way around it. And he said he showed no remorse.
The brother?
No. You should watch. I think he said that on Your Mom's House. I think that was Tom and Christina's. I think. And I could be wrong. I'll look it up. Yeah, because you should watch that. It's cool. I didn't know any of that.
No, I didn't.
Because obviously Dane Cook was my era. When Dane was blowing up, selling out Madison Square Garden, fucking how many times in a row, putting out Vicious Circle or Cycle, and
I couldn't watch him, dude. He was too.
Well, you were
much.
older. For me, I mean, I was like, I
it?
love it.
Oh, you loved him?
I'm like, Red Bull and cocaine. No, I wasn't.
Is that him? Is that
no?
What he does?
That was just.
Oh, you just loved.
That was the other side of my mind. Did you notice? Of course,
was your homeless guy.
That was it. I'm addicted to yellow Red Bull. I chugged one on the way to the gym.
I didn't. What did I buy you one day? Did I buy you yellow Red Bull?
No, you bought me a. I hadn't tried a blue.
Blue,
green. It was green.
It's green, right?
I don't even know what flavor green could be. Kiwi,
watermelon.
I
don't know.
But, dude, don't do it. Drink a Red Bull.
Oh yeah,
I was going.
I like them. You know what I like is 5 Hour Energies though.
I know you did.
Me nice and
you
level.
had me on the kick. We drank one when? What were we doing?
We were that bathroom.
Oh yeah, you bought them. That's right.
We had a Red Bull and a 5 Hour. It's probably bad.
That's a super. That is. Never say that again. It's that bad.
Hey, well, you know what we should have?
Oh man, we didn't have a mock ad, dude. I need to make a soundbite, which is too bad because that episode will never see the light. But the soundbite of Steve and he's not stupid. So like at first I thought he was playing dumb when he didn't realize that our
the fake ad.
Yeah, and he's like, you know what's funny is that almost sounds like this, and that's the biggest face palm I've ever wanted to do.
I gotta watch it.
It's so funny.
Oh my god, I gotta piss again. Dude.
Oh, dude. We're going to be 2 hours on this. We'll be right back. He has risen. Oh boy.
You gotta kick me out, man. Whenever you're ready.
Me? No. I'm never ready. That's another reason too. Like a lot of I was thinking about this when you were gone very intently. You could probably, if I didn't cut out to a logo, you probably would have seen it on screen. But I'm just thinking. I'm in my head, and I'm like, you know what? I am very used to long conversation because I like conversation. But there's not many people I can have a very long conversation with that doesn't lose momentum. That's not typical. I mean, like, you think sometimes you see like Rogan's podcast go for like 3 hours now, and it's like, what the fuck? How? But then it's like, we're at 2,
and it hasn't lulled.
I could do this for 3 more hours. I don't mind it.
Is this going to kill you tomorrow, though?
No, I'm off. I'm done. I'm done. I have no responsibilities till Monday. And like we were just saying, that's the same thing too. Do you know how infrequent that is for me? There's always a text that I should be getting back to that I haven't for 5 days. Yeah, or an email or an invoice to send.
I had some lady emailing me the other day about
nothing.
Yeah, and just like mad. And you're like, that's hanging over your head.
Same, dude. That's so fucking rare. I was thinking about that while you're gone too. The other, I don't know why, but the other reason, another proof in the pudding that Neil gives for everyone being God, everyone being whatever that is, right? I hate that word.
Well, let's just take it as what
right.
it is.
The way I'm talking about it is that, well, if time isn't linear, if time is cyclical, and if you are a pharaoh in Egypt right now, it's more proof that we're all the same person, because you're not in the construct of a line, in time where that happened so long ago so that you can be reborn to now. It's all happening right now because you're all the same. Everyone's everyone.
You know what I think about a lot? I don't know if I mentioned this before, but like when I go through an intersection sometimes, and I'm like, what if that car didn't stop? Like, what if really what happened was I was going through that intersection and that car didn't stop?
What would happen?
And I'm dead. Like in that reality.
In another, in another bubble.
But I keep going.
Right.
Right. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So not even cyclical, but like
multiverse
branches,
theory. Yeah.
Like a root system.
Well, that's funny. I don't know why we've talked about Rogan so much, because we sound like huge fanboys, and neither of us even watch new
I haven't watched
Rogan.
For
I mean, I'll check out certain episodes, but barely, because I have friends of mine, we won't name, Steve, that rides him so hard that I like don't watch him in protest. But
like, fuck you, Steve. I'm not watching Rogan.
Straight up. But he likes to talk about the multiverse, and he talks about like,
oh, is that a Rogan thing? Okay.
Well, not really. It's not like a, he doesn't talk about all the time, but when he does, he's like, yeah, there's another version of this that you just didn't say the in the last sentence, and there's another version where you have a mustache and you don't, and it's like, dude, there's another version where you're like a 8-dimensional slug in an alien planet. I mean, there's every version if you buy that theory.
Right.
If that's the thing. But there is a saying called to sonder. Have you heard of that?
No.
That's what I've been doing lately. Sondering. It is loosely defined as
can I guess?
Yeah.
Is that when you touch dicks and you put one dick inside the other dick?
Who did I tell you this already?
No.
How did you know that?
Is that for real?
How did you know where that was going? You knew that.
No. Is it sounding? Is that or something?
No, I'm fucking with you.
Another one.
It's
Another one.
I hit it and my volume was down. No, so sondering. You put your foreskin over, so you make like the male and female plug. It's like an outlet. Oh, no, but to sonder is to look at a stranger. Seemingly a stranger. Look at someone's semen after connecting to
docking penises.
Yeah, docking. That's right.
Is that docking? Okay.
I don't know. But it's looking at a stranger and realizing that his life has as many complexities and as many hardships and as many experiences as your own. Do you know how many people don't do that?
99.
Yeah.
0.9.
I mean, there are theories that there's one focal point in the universe. I guess those would be the people.
It's the Denver airport.
That's the ending point.
Oh, that's it.
But the focal point is the theory of that is that I'm all there is. You're fake. You're not there.
That's what people. What?
That's the
this is
idea.
like most people.
In your reality, you are the focal point. I'm not here. I'm a construct that fits your reality.
Oh, you lost me.
Everybody is. Your wife, your kids.
Wait, what is this? Sondering still?
No.
This is the opposite of sondering.
I'm talking about the people that don't do that. It's like
Oh,
they
yeah.
must buy the focal point theory because that's what they're doing.
Right.
No one's real. No one has a depth of
You're the only piece of gravity in this.
right. Everything is an illusion, which I don't know how
Well,
foo-foo you want to get.
Plato.
Well, right. But apparently it is all an illusion that we construct and experience.
Well, Musk, right? Doesn't Elon think that chances are this is the simulation?
Yeah, and I don't know why people always like there are
This is
people
Rogan. That's Rogan too for me. I think I found that on Rogan.
but it doesn't even like he has no authority. Like there are far better minds of that theory and in that vein to talk about that. But again, that's the benefit of in the downfall of Rogan is like that's the easiest place to hear it.
Yeah, right. So
But he does believe that, yeah.
yeah,
From what I know, right? Because he talks about that.
Yeah.
The simulation theory. It makes sense, but here's the question that begs in my mind is who cares? It wouldn't matter. Here's the thing. What is the difference between free will and seeming to have it?
well,
None.
here's the only thing: is who cares? Like, there are people that believe in the focal point theory,
Mm-hmm.
and then there are people that sonder. So if you can get some of the people that are focally, that are in the focal point
Yeah.
to sonder,
And some of the
that's who cares,
right.
right? If you can make
Yeah.
them care and go, hey, what about this?
You know what the not the MacGuffin, but the totem there is. You know what the key is? Conversation.
Oh yeah, the MacGuffin.
Yeah.
What's the
I don't. That's not what that
Is
means.
that a real word?
We're half a bottle into Weller and a little bit into Elijah Craig. Yeah, MacGuffin is, but that's
Listen.
not what the fuck it is.
Is there a MacGuffin?
Yeah, we were. I know that word from a friend of mine because we were using there was a MacGuffin in one of our music video ideas. It was you want to hear the music video idea? 2 hours and 10 minutes in?
Yeah.
I'm going to ruin it.
Wait, is this the thing you're producing or no?
No,
Okay.
no, I never produced it. So I had a song that no one's heard that I only have a demo for that the chorus is talking about how it's only me and this person and it's all there is, it's all there ever was, and it's all there ever will be. It's kind of weirdly what we're talking about, even though I just misspoke and said MacGuffin. Synchronicity. I've been off on my soundbite game
What
tonight.
is MacGuffin though? I'm still.
Well,
stuck on
I don't
that.
exactly know, but I know how we used it. And he could have been using it wrong too. I don't know. I've never heard it used other than this. But anyway, so this was the music video idea. The basis is that there are only these two characters, right? They might have lived many lives, but they always meet and they're always in each other's lives. That's the premise of my song.
Mm-hmm.
It's not really said.
Like soul
Yeah, soulmates.
mates.
Yep, meeting over and over.
Yeah.
But then we had the idea of, okay, why don't we shoot that, but in a fun way? Like, why don't we do a Groundhog's Day version? And it was going to be all first person. So I bought like a mount for like a camera so that you saw everything from my eyes. And Yellow Card, a band, they did like punk rock type stuff. They shot a video kind of like this, not really, but in the premise was similar, where they relived the same thing, just like Groundhog's Day. And the idea was, God, burps. The idea was that we experience the same thing, and each time I experience it, we get closer to like the climax. You don't see it till like the end. And every time I start the day or the memory, I wake up holding, I don't even know if we decided what, but something. And then I experience the day, it cuts off, and I wake up again. I do the same thing. It gets closer. Some guys shove me around at some carnival. We were trying to make like a coming of age, romantic, whatever, because we had to disguise it enough for people to want to see it, even though I don't give a shit about that. That would have worked. And toward the end, you realize like I get almost killed. Like I get a baseball bat to the head. I have the foam Hollywood prop bat in my office. This was like 8/10 of the way done. Like we were ready to shoot, and a bunch of shit happened. But yeah, the last full run of it was I get almost killed, you think, and she gets kidnapped. I don't know. We weren't going to explain a ton. We're going to let you fill in the gaps. And then the whole like crux and everything was I get up that last time and I'm on my way to pick her up in this like muscle car we borrow because it would look cool. And I take this MacGuffin.
The thing you've been holding in your dream, in your sleep.
Well, whatever. Right? Every time I wake up and I drop it out the car window and drive by her house.
Oh.
So I don't know if that's really the right use. That's what he called it.
I've never heard of that or even know. I mean, I kind of know what it represents now.
So, yeah, representationally, it would have been like the thing that kept the cycle going in that context.
Yeah.
But I don't know that that's what it is or what that means.
I'm going to really try to use that in a lot of conversations now.
You should first look it up because I'm
I'm
pretty sure I'm using it wrong. Like, nope, I'm just going to field test it, bruh. I'm using it every time I talk to someone.
Throw that in there. Oh, yeah, that's like a MacGuffin.
And then you just bank on the fact that they don't call you on it.
Yeah.
They're like, yeah, it is a MacGuffin.
Like most people. Like, yeah.
Yeah.
Or,
Well,
yeah.
unlike most people, I'll tell you that I used that probably wrong.
That's cool.
You might want to look into it first. But
sometimes I don't like to.
But I thought that was a fun idea. I mean, it wasn't like some existential, it wasn't a feat in reality of a song. It was a pop song,
Fuck you. Yeah.
Drop it and gone. I just thought that was like enough of an ending. Like you drop the thing that on every start, again, the starting shot was my hand with that in it. And then I would wake up grabbing it and I'd come to on the beach, not realize why I came to. You find out later that's where I came to after I was almost killed with a bat and my girlfriend was taken. And because you try this thing like when you think you have this depth of complexity and you're like, I'm gonna make a fucking Scorsese of a music video. I'm gonna make a Mulholland Drive every music video. And they're all going to be in the same universe. It's like, dude, just make a fucking video, bro. You're not Quentin Tarantino. You're trying to sell a song.
You know what fucked me up the other day that you said?
Oh, God.
First of all.
Sorry.
Would have been cool if you had a egg McMuffin as the McGuffin.
And I just pronounced it wrong.
No, you just woke up every morning with a McMuffin, but it was a McGuffin.
And the joke is it's a parallel universe where time flips and they called it a MacGuffin instead of an egg McMuffin. That's fucking great.
No, it just would have been a MacGuffin that was a McMuffin.
It was like
the
you see
MacGuffin
that?
was the McMuffin.
Someone tries to explain it. I don't know. That little Daniel guy, he woke up every time with a MacGuffin. You like egg McMuffin?
This is a MacGuffin? Who got me a MacGuffin? No, you said songs are easy to write.
They are.
Yeah, that fucked me right up.
Which you wouldn't think because I don't write a ton of them. I have friends that write tons of them. They're not hard to write.
People write tons of them.
You know what's hard to write?
Millions of them. Love letters.
Obituaries. That's not funny. You know what's hard to write? I like the rewind.
I do too.
Good songs. But here's the thing. Jay-Z said something once that like changed my view on art, at least music art. And he goes, I don't remember who was beefing with him. I want to say it was Lil Wayne, which is hilarious. But it doesn't make sense because they're buddies. Like they did the Carter record together. I don't know. Somebody was beefing with him. And their thing was they said
Eminem?
No. I don't think so. Because they had what was the song Jay-Z featured Eminem on and Eminem schooled him. Like even he knew that. His fan base knew that.
I thought Eminem did a dig.
Nas and Jay-Z had like the iconic beef.
Oh, okay.
Like huge. Like threatened each other. Jay-Z wrote Threat about Nas. And it's bad. He's talking about parking cars at the top level of a parking garage, aka shooting him in the head. Like dark.
Parking car.
Yeah, like a bunch of analogies. Jay-Z's the man. I love Jay-Z. Probably my favorite rapper. But definitely my favorite rapper. Anyway, someone he was beefing with said in an interview, I think my style's better or I'm better and I got more money. And Jay-Z's rebuttal was, he could think he's better or so can people because that's an opinion. But if he wants to compare bank accounts, and it stuck with me because it's like, I didn't care about the flex. I didn't care about like how well he finessed him, but it's like, you're right. I started looking at like people's opinion on not just my art, but any art as who it's people's opinions.
Yeah.
There's no right. Something that I think.
You said that earlier today. You said that earlier in the podcast.
Oh, did I?
Yeah, you said
We're going so long, I'm forgetting what I said.
you said something like that.
Right, akin to it. Well, it's true, though. Who gives a fuck? It's an opinion. No one, like, what I regard as the highest art.
You said it doesn't matter if I like it. It's just my opinion or whatever.
Oh, yeah. No, I did. You're right. I don't remember what we were talking about, but I did. And that's true. It doesn't matter if I like it. Because, like, there's no statement of truth there. I could like something and think it's the best movie made, and you could hate it. Who's right?
This is so fun. Like, what's weird about food critics and people who review shit online.
Yeah.
I look reviews up.
Yeah, me too.
But some of those things are funny. I mean, they're like, that person is crazy.
Oh, yeah.
Or you look up their other reviews and you're like.
But I've never, I don't know. I have friends that regurgitate reviews as their own. That annoys me to no end. I hate it. Because it's like, I look up reviews too. I don't mind finding a baseline. I also don't mind seeing where my opinions lie against someone else's. And actually, it's helped. Like, let's take cigars, for example. Comparing my blind reviews to people that are like big in the industry for reviews, it was endlessly helpful in figuring out how accurate or inaccurate my palate was for notes of cigars. So there's a place for it, but I never took someone else's review and was like, oh, let me just change a little bit here, smudge that, change that flavor. Why?
Yeah.
Why? I don't even understand the constructive point. How does that work?
Man, in nowadays, that's if you can learn how to do that and stick to it.
Well, it's just like, I mean, people did that I knew in school.
No.
They were like endless plagiarists.
Oh, no, yeah. But I mean, like, Facebook. I mean, it's like all these posts are humble brags or
rip-offs of similar posts. Yeah. And they get tons of reaction. Yeah. See, I hate that. Like, I have a family member that I will not go into this far in that they're under the impression, which is really a sad reality, that the quantity of their reception has something to say about the quality of their output. And I try to drill this into their head that it doesn't matter. And the amount of people telling you good job is never an accurate representation of a job well done.
So if I was listening to this podcast, I would call you in my car on that line. Because you just said Jay-Z was like, I don't have any problem comparing bank accounts.
Yeah.
Which would be the same thing as your family member.
No. I should have said more if I didn't say this fully. He said he had more money than Jay-Z.
He did.
This guy.
Right.
And this Jay-Z goes, one of the things that he said was an opinion. The other is a fact. If he wants to compare numbers.
The fact is, your family member has quantity, right? Like money.
Oh, I missed what you're talking about.
Yeah. Sorry.
Right. But Jay-Z's money is not his argument was not that the amount of money he had made him a better rapper.
Oh, that wasn't the argument.
No.
Okay.
Two separate points. He was just saying, because actually, in fact, Jay-Z was kind of like judoed him, because he's like, he thinks he's better. That's fine. That's an opinion. There is no better. Huh. If people think he's better, fine. That's an opinion. But if he wants to compare bank accounts, there's no opinion there. Right. I have a bigger one. But that was all it was. And of course that's not true. That's like saying, I don't want to diss anyone. I almost just did on accident. But that's like saying somebody, there's no delicate way around this subject, so I don't want to get into it. I feel, not because I'm worried, I just don't want to diss anyone.
No, I didn't mean to call you, but like I
know what you mean.
And I'm like, all right, I would call you. And,
no, I appreciate it. I appreciate it. But yeah, different context. I don't mean that, well, not even in my defense. Jay-Z didn't mean that because I have more money, I'm better. Isolated differences. He's saying, okay, you're better to your fans. That's their opinion. There is no better there, but I have more money.
Yeah. Here's the hard fact.
Yeah, it's separate. He doesn't mean because he has more money, he's better. But I try to say that to my family member who still goes unnamed, who will definitely see this. and I just say, listen, it's a constructive criticism. Don't let your base, don't let this mass of people, because it's a lot of people,
your fans,
tell you that you're doing a good job. Disillusion you to thinking you are. Because I love them. I mean, you're a good enough of a friend, of course, and me to you, that I would literally, and I'll give you a public go ahead, which will soon be public, to check me on that, and I will do it to you if I have that permission, to check you on that same status in a friendly way, in a way that because the thing is, so like me, and I say this a lot about me and Andrew, where we've built that trust, and we really have, where we never trigger each other. I never say anything to him to hurt his feelings. He knows that I don't, and because we have that trust, we don't. But we know that both of us, like I would tell you, I don't want to live if I'm not trying to be better, because I know the opposite, and it's not living for me.
Yeah, I've pushed you to try to.
Of course you have. Yeah, and I appreciate it. But I think that's like, again, we go back to the friends that made the cut. There's no cut. That sounds so melodramatic. There's no one canceled in my, if you text me, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And if I'm bad at getting back to you, I'm bad at getting back to everyone. I have severe anxieties. I'm probably undiagnosed bipolar. I mean, it's almost a guarantee. I am definitely manic depressive. I mean, it's not personal.
That helped me a lot, like knowing that. And
with me?
Yeah. I
was very open with you. I remember when I came back to I don't want to dive too far into recent traumas because it's not the point of this. I can take this anyway as just a person. Own it and explain, but there were reasons. You were not an exception to the people that I disappeared from. I disappeared from everybody. But I felt enough accountability with you to come and tell you and be honest, because that's the problem. I'm also very aware, because I do this, right? A moment of vulnerability. If I'm not careful of my monkey mind, it will concoct fantasies based on what I'm perceiving.
And that's what I was saying.
I didn't want you to make that fantasy. So I said, hey, how do I get in front of this? Oh, I tell him, stop hiding how I am. Tell him how I am. Be honest. Be like, you are no exception. Do not take it personal, because it's not. That's just how I've been with everyone. And that's cool to hear that feedback months later from you. You told me then, but to hear it again and be like, that's cool.
Yeah.
Good.
99 out of 100 times that monkey mind would have made me maybe stop.
You concoct something.
You.
Yeah.
Like,
how much can someone try?
I offended him. Right.
I mean, you're insane. At some point, you're insane, even if you're not, right?
Yeah.
Because here's the thing. At some point, even if it is me, you're still insane. It's your own reality. You're like, how many times can I text somebody with no response? How many times can I try to engage somebody that doesn't respond? At some point, your perception is, I'm nuts.
Yeah.
And this isn't what I think. But the funny thing is, okay. This is a great point for us to bring up in our world here, in our reactionary show with each other, is openness. A lot of our friendship, because it has grown fast and furious, for how short we have been actually close.
Yeah.
Because we have a very uncanny and a very early openness. But you and I kind of have that alone, outside of each other. But we happen to also have that together.
Yeah.
Because of that. It's rare. If people were more honest, willing to be more vulnerable, and were more open with each other, you'd have a lot more tighter bonds, because people hide so much shit. They're so worried. They're so scared of being judged. They're so worried of, this person's going to stop liking me if I show this side of me. Guess what? I want to weed out those people.
And
that's where I'm at.
What's funny is that, and I don't know if it's for everybody, but when I can see that.
Yeah.
You're trying to hide that.
Yo, yeah.
But it's like you're going like this. Like,
well, because you're out in the field.
I can see you.
You're not behind anything. You're right.
Yeah.
And that's the people that's so obvious too.
Yeah. And so it's I don't know what the word is, but it's like counterproductive. I'm watching you try to hide behind the twig.
Yep.
You know?
And we talked about you know, we don't no naming of names, but we've talked about a couple of those people that, and it's of no detriment to their relationships, not really, not obviously, and it's not really a detriment to themselves. Again, it's another path. They're maybe not there. That's cool.
Yeah.
You know,
you know, you're not comfortable.
you know, when did you start doing that with everyone you talk to?
I think I've been like that forever.
Really? Completely open, vulnerable, honest.
Yeah.
Wow.
Well, so the first time I remembered is college. I was like, I'm going to meet as many people. I was from Maine, went to Virginia.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, I'm going to meet as many people as I can.
Yeah.
This school has 1,200 people or whatever. It was
Jesus.
Small school. And
Small.
Well, college. With
Oh,
1,200
yeah,
people.
yeah.
So I was like, I'm going to meet as many. So I'd sit down at every meal, like in the cafeteria, with somebody new. And I would just, you know, I'd ask permission to sit with them. If it was cool, I'd sit with them. And then I didn't have any, like, front. I didn't have any.
Yeah.
I just wanted to meet people.
Actually, yeah. Not to interrupt you, but you know what? I don't even know I'm acting surprised by that. A lot of even your trauma and the things you've told me that have gone on, like mental tie-ups you've had, stuff like that, makes sense. Yours comes from the opposite. You're an open window.
Yeah.
And you get the rain. Quote from my brother, Andrew Mura.
That's pretty good.
That's one of his best songs for sure.
Oh,
it's always the open window that gets all the rain. If you open your heart to me, you'll feel only pain. I never look back behind me until I run dry. So I'm running on empty most all the time. He's a fantastic writer. But he's also right. So the point is, a lot of your tie-ups were because you were so open and that wasn't reciprocated.
No.
Mine is not that. Mine is a whole different thing. But again, regardless, meeting up at that point, like, to be straight up with you, my ego wants to say when I met you, I wasn't. My last punch.
You was what?
Open, honest, vulnerable. At that point in my reality, you know, in my my story,
Yeah.
I wasn't.
When I met you, you were just a kid.
No, I don't mean when I met you. I mean before we got back hanging out, when I reopened to everybody of life.
Yeah.
I really was. I mean, I was close, but I wasn't really there. I definitely feel like I'm there now because it's the nature of that recent trauma, which we'll get into at some point when we have time to talk about it. I have no reservations of talking about it. I actually think I might even be able to offer some insight, maybe some healing. I don't know. But yeah, recent trauma just shoved it forward. I mean, I don't have time. And I know that. You know, I saw that. And it's less than time. It's that I also learned that the biggest regrets I have from those relationships was the things that aren't said, the things the things, number one, you would fix, right? But the things regarding to that, you wouldn't even have to fix if you were open and honest with them. And then I started realizing the only fucking way to protect yourself from that going forward is to not hide shit. Be who you are. If somebody can't fucking accept that, good. It's good that you know.
Yeah.
Bye. You know? Or whatever. Put them wherever you need to in your reality. Treat them, you know, and that sucks to say, but you can't be open with them either. That's the point. If they can't take that and you can't be that, then you won't. So you want to be fake with someone?
Right.
You know, what's better? And it is harsh and it sounds harsh. And I have friends that I've yet to, and you know this, not rekindle, and because it sounds personal, it's not.
Address.
Sure, right. Because it's like, here's the fun fact. I'm too empathetic that I don't know if they can handle it. I'm not going to blow up and punch them in the mouth, but I'm in this place where, like, someone that you might, I'm sure you have someone in mind that specifically even I could talk about, which I will never, love him to death. But I'm worried he doesn't have the depth or doesn't want to go to the place where I would want to go. You know what I mean? Like, I just want to be real. I don't know if he's got that in him.
I definitely have.
And I'm empathetic enough. I don't want to put him in that position to not know what to do with that. Because how's that going to help him or us?
Yeah. I mean, like, I have people that I have tried to be like that with. Yeah. And you just know.
It's just not going to happen.
It's not going to happen. Yeah. And so, like you said, you know, you got to be open And if it's not going to work,
You have to
then-
see if that doctored version of yourself you can live with at the sake or to keep that relationship to whatever level you can.
Yeah, I don't doctor it, but I don't push it either.
I love this. I say this all the time to you and Andrew. That you two are probably the only ones, but if not, definitely the most. That we're very different people. We are, but we're so similar in very structural, like important ways that I really do get like a glimpse ahead.
Yeah,
Vicariously
You'll
through
see
both of
how-
you. It's so endlessly beneficial. And again, I'm the kid that's always tripping on wisdom's better than knowledge, and I don't have the wisdom. I'm not experiencing what you are. I'm taking your words for it.
No, the only thing, like with this specific, example, you can try it. That's how you get the wisdom, is you just try it out. You just finally go, well, let's see what happens.
Yeah, and this person that that I'm specifically talking, I'm just referencing, there's many, but this person, again, I'm really not doing it to protect myself in any way. There's nothing needs protecting. I actually really do, considering the person, I don't feel like those tools are equipped for them. I don't know how that's going to go. I guess I can't lose by doing it, and maybe it helps them. I don't know. Maybe nobody says that to them because he's the guy nobody says that to.
Right.
And maybe that's what's let him stay in that.
These people, for me, are very close, and they won't ever get it. So.
Oh, the people that you're talking about?
Yeah.
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 I guess I don't.
At least the guy you're talking about is young enough to understand, or to
have a chance, right?
To get that like imprint that, oh, maybe this is a thing I should have. But
yeah, that is sad that yours, like you're saying, that might be too old. They're stuck in their way. They're never going to get it. That's sad. And here's the thing. I say, and I'm very aware of some of my beliefs and how, strong I am in them and stubborn. But you would think that I would have ironed out protocols for when those don't work, but I've not.
It takes a long time to recognize that something's an issue.
Yeah.
And then when it is, you got to come up with a plan to address it, and then you got to put it in action. So
it's so funny. Some people, though, don't give a fuck. I mean, some people are like, listen, this is my truth. You're going to know it. I don't care what you do with it. And I think there are some people like, there's not enough empathy in the world. True. But there are people like myself sometimes that, and again, I almost cringed again. I'm not putting myself on a pedestal. I'm a fucking asshole too. Like sometimes I'm not empathetic. Sometimes I'm apathetic, actually. Period. But there are times when my empathy hurts me. I don't need to care how this person I'm talking about is going to take anything I say to him. I don't have to care. And in fact, my caring might actually hurt him more because my absence might. And I know that too. So the harder part with me when I get in my like depressive states is I know I'm smart enough to know that I can get out of them. And the sheer fact that I'm not makes it worse. It is what it is.
yeah.
You have an acknowledgement of your shortcomings and you're not doing anything to solve them.
One of those things in the Satanic Bible was like, save all your kindness for the people you love, and
Oh boy, I don't do that.
not for, don't be fake nice. Don't waste your energy on these people that you don't know. I mean, it's actually that just reading that has made a huge difference.
Well, and we should have went down that more when we barely touched on it a little bit ago. It's like the thing with this stuff is, this is my perception. The Church of Satanism, the Satanic Bible. I mean, it's a little in its presentation trolly, of course.
Oh, it is.
It was a punk rock thing against the Catholic Church and stuff, right?
Definitely, yeah.
So you've got to take that. And they know that. But it doesn't mean that they're tenets and that they're, they're not writing a book that complete morons can read and go, oh, this is the right one. It's like there is obviously some sustenance. There's obviously some benefit. And, they're spooking away the superstitious.
Oh, yeah.
It's like,
they definitely
listen,
could have had a better presentation.
if you're guys like you and I outside of this, religious circuit, Satan is as much as a myth as the guy with the beard.
Yeah.
It's like, I don't give a fuck who you think you're praying to. I don't care. Who are you? How are you?
How are you feeling?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can't believe you haven't noticed that I've said that to you at the beginning.
I didn't, but
that's what you need to go back and listen.
It felt really comfortable to hear that.
Yeah.
So it's probably why.
That's funny. Yeah, I've said it a bunch because that was our point. Like we have this weird, we have this like, it's not male. Like I said that, and then I remember I told you on the car ride back from the gym that Kelsey was like, no, I think it's just as much female in some ways it might be more of an appeal because it really, it's weird how I like gridlocked that into any gender. It doesn't matter. Who gives a fuck? Anyone can feel like that. We need to normalize asking people how they are. It's okay.
Yeah,
and
like for real, like genuine.
Yeah, 100% genuinely. Don't ask someone to
like,
placate
hey,
them.
How you doing? Fuck, I find good.
Oh yeah, hey, how you doing? Don't care. What's the way? But no, it's like that is the point. We need to care, and I think the problem is we all take that stance of like, it's like I have a relative that is strongly and very activist in an activist way, or in an activist's fiery passion, is a vegan. And I always tell her, I'm like, you're definitely doing your part, but how can you hope to counter the amount of people that aren't? And she goes, well, not with that attitude. And I'm like, yeah, you're right. Because that really does apply to everything. When I'm sitting here, in my little pity party, and I'm like, no one cares about people. We don't talk. We just make noise.
Oh, yeah.
How can you say that if you're not doing it? Straight up.
Yeah.
And that sounds so self-helpy and cliche, but it's true. It's also true.
And it's tough. I've had like and almost like a social experiment, and not as much as like I care.
Yeah.
It's just kind of fucked up. But like, how do you get from the small talk right into it? I mean, what's the quickest question or topic or whatever that you can bring up that you just get right into with people? Like, skip the small talk. I mean, how are you doing? Really, how are things going? And I just haven't come up with a good answer. But how are you feeling is a good
that is a good start.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I've tried to do that too, especially again when I was in those eras of my life, like that I was like deep in the mud of it. And there was never like what I had come up with back then was like a clever, and I don't even know, it wasn't like a script, but it was a clever way around trying to read somebody. How receptive are they? Which is hilarious because that sounds so manipulative. Like in nature, it sounds like you sound like you're selling Bibles door to door. You sound like you're trying to pitch your religion on someone. And maybe there was a tense of that. I wasn't because
I think of that, but that's probably what I was doing too.
Yeah, I had nothing to sell. But I was taking their toys.
I was trying to manipulate.
Yes.
Yeah.
I was trying to figure out like, is this person in touch enough, enlightened enough? How did I shut that off and hit it at the same time? But that was the question, because I was like, if I know they are, we're diving in, and those are the best conversations. That's why, like, I've always thought the myth of the God figure, right? This, like, why is it ever present? Are we aware, like, if his theory, I don't know if it's his theory, but if the theory he puts forward, whether it's his originally or not, is we're all one, and we are, and we're all, this body of consciousness is just the summary of all of that. Why is it ever present? One would beg to say it's because it's true. It's an ultimate truth. It's a recurring truth because it never ends. It's always been the truth. That's why there's always a myth with every culture and every civilization about a God. And about this like all-knowing, all-seeing, because it sees and knows everything, because it's everyone. But there's also this other flip side that I was thinking about at the gym, weirdly enough, that I had a feeling, I didn't know we were going to come down this road, but I was wondering, I'm like, what makes like this exact show, because there's a couple incarnations, like I said, that might be on this channel, rewarding for me? Because I'm not kidding when I say that a lot of my creative ideas are not rewarding. I love music.
I haven't figured it out either.
Well, I love music.
Mhm.
It does not fuel me in any way. It really doesn't. There's a gratification.
It drains me.
Oh, my fucking word, it drains me.
It's almost like cathartic, like it just pushes it. I'm tired afterwards.
Yeah. But my thing is, what I'm getting at is the feeling that you get. It doesn't matter how many times I have this conversation about existence, existentialism, anything in the realm of, esoterics and in the unknown, especially to do with not spirituality and essence of being. Why is it so? I don't even know the word. Not magical's ridiculous, but why is that? Why does that give you that type of feeling? Why is it like anytime growing up, if I had to talk like this with like a friend, because again, I had like an early up on that stuff, it was like, we didn't even need to sleep. We were fed so much energy from just talking. We were good. We're wired for the next day. What is it that gives it that? Because I can talk endlessly about anything. We know that. I love to talk. But this is the only topic that gets me going. And in most people I know, when they talk about this, it's like there's this inherent, I don't know what.
Is it the topic?
I don't know.
You know how there's like social vampires?
Yeah.
People that like,
Yeah.
you just,
Yeah.
But we don't have a word for the other kind.
No, right. Social saviors. Social
springs.
Social gas pumps. Social
mineral springs. Yeah, I don't know.
Social HP water, positive pH water. I don't know what it's called. HP water. Like Pokemon. No, I don't know. But I wondered what that is, right? Because so here's the thing. Some people, me, when I was thinking of this, I was like, oh, you dum-dum. It's because it's novel. It's not novel. I've talked about this at length for more of my life now than I haven't. It's not novel. None of this is new. I'm not stumbling on a new idea. It's not that it's regurgitated, but it's just it's a conversation I've had just with a new person. Why is it still uplifting, enlightening, empowering? Why is that? And that sounds like it comes from the mouth of someone that goes to church. Couldn't be farther from the truth. So why is that?
Normally when you have these kind of, one person leaves like a little bit drained.
Do you feel drained?
No, but like that's what I was saying. Like when I leave,
yeah,
I'm like jazzed up.
You're like, I could go back to the gym.
I'm going to play Population 1. I don't know what I'm going to do. But
I'm going to play Fortnite too. We're both going to play our own games. We're going to have a headset where we're talking to each other, and both teams on each game are like, who the fuck is he talking to? No, I don't know. And it's so cliche because, like, get this, right? Even when I'm not in this mindset and I hear people talking about this shit, I'm like, shut the fuck up. You know what I mean? Yeah. And I dig it. That's my thing. And even I'm like, oh, shut the fuck up.
There's going to be that. I've had that with podcasts I like.
But again, hey, guess what the benefit of being open is? I've never heard someone that talks about that shit say that after. If someone goes, if I'm listening to a podcast and it's like, every time I hear someone talk about that shit, I'm always like, shut the fuck up. I'd be like,
well, me too.
I'm thinking, shut the fuck up. And he's, you know what I mean?
You guys should shut the fuck up.
Yeah, because I get it. It's annoying. It's cliche. It's endlessly hopeful, especially if you're feeling hopeless. That's awful.
That's the word.
It is, and I get it because I've been there and I am there. I still flutter in between. Again, I think being open is kind of our brand on this little incarnation. I like that.
If you say that's fresh, that's cool, man. But it's like that's like I said, I've been like this for 20 years. So
and it's again, I think me kind of wearing my shortcomings on my sleeve might be fresh for me. I don't think this type of topic is at all. But what I do think is the perception of the public, the people that might see this. I don't think two people that people would expect this from less than us. I really don't. I am a known hermit. I mean,
I couldn't look more closed off, probably.
You don't look that bad.
Another one.
No, it's not. But yeah, I mean, like we were talking about in the kitchen, you're like, I chose to inspect houses mainly because
avoid
I didn't have
people.
to see people and talk to people.
Yeah.
And it's like, you would never expect that from you. Plus, like you said, you're like, you give your energy to people you care about. And not that that's it, but you don't go around.
Not that I do, but that I read that and I'm like, oh, that's a huge point. I want to strive for that.
Sure.
'Cause
Right.
I was the opposite. I would be nice to everybody outside and then come home and be a total dickhead.
Oh, right. Because you're giving them everything.
Yeah.
You don't have any more to give. Yeah.
Nothing else. Like at school, right? You got 30, 40 kids you're seeing every day, and then you come home and you know your kids are like, and you know.
Dude, I couldn't do it. But I mean, I probably could.
I
Is the
obviously
thing.
couldn't either.
Yeah,
So I
right.
quit.
But other people would suffer for it. Yeah, it's too bad. But we need to know our limits. It's a smart thing. It's a wise thing to know. It's an adult thing to know, and to work within them. And yeah, I think we have. I would imagine a lot of people would be concerned doing something like this. When do the ideas run out? But you know what's really funny? I don't think people would believe us when we say we had no topics picked out. We had said we wanted to touch on
We had a plan.
synchronicity.
Before. Yeah.
That's it.
And then we hit that like 25 minutes in and
That was it.
for like 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I think
I think having a topic would be a good idea, but
I don't know. The more I think about it and I gear toward the channel being a kind of a melting pot of different ideas, maybe not.
keep this one.
Maybe because it's hard to do for a lot of people. It's hard for us too. Like sometimes I am, while I'm in conversation, thinking about how can I segue, where can we go, but it's not often. It kind of just leads in. But yeah, I like that. I like that free flow thing. That could be kind of our thing.
That's cool.
Yeah, and I think us accepting the improv, like if we took calls or questions, like accepting that.
I think it'd be cool to have people write in or call in and be like,
well, the appeal is out. If again, this is going on a fresh YouTube, so there will be no one on it, but we'll share it if we do put this out.
yeah,
You and I we'll have to.
I guess so.
If we don't share it, what the fuck are we gonna do? I might as well leave it private. No one's gonna be on that channel.
Yeah.
So I'll have to come up with, even if it's just a poster name for whatever that channel I'm making will be called for all the shows. But the Into the Layer section, I just came up with an idea. What if we called it Into the Layers and we write it as LAYERS, and that's the layers of our beliefs, reality,
And layers of the channel.
right?
Yeah.
That's cool. That would be our show. I like this.
Into the layers could be the
You and me.
channel. Oh, me and you.
Yeah, our show
Yeah.
on the channel.
Yeah.
We need something for you and I. We'll figure it out on that part, but I need to make that this room's production. I don't know what, but we are 2.5 hours in.
Call it Outlier.
Outlier. I loved Outlier for so long, but
Not Outlier. Outlier.
as a play on it,
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, I was thinking like I don't even know if I would call it Outlier, even though this was called that. But I don't know. Something collective, because it is a collective. That's what it would be.
Collective soul.
Talking
Is
about the
that
Bible.
taken?
Talking about the Bible. I did a showcase for their A&R guy, the guy that signed them. And he told me that they were late on, like, I think it was their second record. The deadline was coming for their contract when they owed it. And he goes, you know what they did? He goes, they turned it in like, I don't remember what he said, very short after they had that conversation. I'm like, well, yeah, because they were going to be sued if not, or whatever. They'd be in breach of contract. He goes, well, whatever the reason. He goes, but you know how they did it? I'm like, stop, banging chicks and drinking and fucking off. And he's like, no, they filled the rest of their remaining songs with Bible quotes because it's public domain. And I was like, you fucking music business types. They know it all. It's like they know all the ins and outs. They know all the legalities. Even, they're not lawyers, and they could be. It's crazy.
That's funny.
Kim Stevens, way back when I was a little pup. He also signed Rob Thomas, Matchbox 20.
That was all that same year, yeah.
Not Howie Day. Who sang Edwin McCain?
Yep.
Yeah.
It's bringing back some memories, man.
Dude, I'll be.
Collective soul.
Oh, my
Edwin
God.
McCain.
Crowd killer. But yeah, we're going to iron out the rest. I think it would be a very brave move if we put this one out and we call this the christening. I mean, we're going to have a hard time. It'll be a while before we beat this. 2.5 hours, more than 2.5 hours.
Why? This is 1:35.
This was paused.
Oh.
The first one was 1 hour and 10.
What?
We're 2 hours and 40 minutes in. This is like, again, I don't know why I keep bringing them up because neither of us are like
good luck editing.
Super fanboys, but this is like Rogan-esque. I don't even know if, hey, fun fact, this might not be the first because it might not upload.
Oh, that's true.
Holy shit. We'll do our best though. Yeah, I didn't even finish this. We'll do an empty cheer for you. I think it went well. What do you think as a fun wrap up?
Fun for me, dude.
I had a blast. Nothing felt like work. If we can keep this vibe, it would be great. Again, as an appeal to whoever might be seeing this and to us going forward to them, if we could cultivate viewers that have that same view.
Yeah.
Talk about winning. Just like I was saying earlier, we would have already won if that happens. I mean, I don't really care if it's 1,000 of them or 200,000. It would be cool to find those people.
I'm having fun doing it, so I don't care if it's 1 or 1,000.
That's right. And it gives us a reason to
hang out and drink whiskey.
Oh yeah, and hang out and get a little tipsy. Yeah. All right, guys, this has been another episode of Into the Layers. We're going to keep changing this till we get it right. Yep. I have been Daniel.
Saint Jubilee. I forget what I said.
What did you say? You're like Zubilee. I have been Frank
and Igor,
and we will see y'all next time.